haunting since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. Orbs rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hesitated a little bit so you guys could see the background. I thought it was kind of cool. How is everybody? Happy hump day. Woo, we made it halfway through, guys. It just seems like I just got done saying that not too long ago, and here we are again. The month is flying by. And it's the fun month. It's the spooky month. So I hope everybody's got their stuff up and ready to roll for Halloween. And let's see who's come to hang with us tonight. And of course, I'm going to go all the way to the top, And we've got, of course, Chris, our guest. Hello, Chris. And we've got Roger and Miss Pinky. Hello, darling. How are you? And Miss Cree is in the house, and Leanne. Ladies Fright, welcome. First time I've seen your name here. You are most welcome. Thanks for hanging out. And there's Sage. And there's Miss Susan. Hello, Susan. How are you, darling? And let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Leanne. Hello, Leanne. And Sam caught the live earlier. Sam, unfortunately, I passed out at one moment, but woke back up. You were still on. Great live. Don't worry about it, Sam. I know you're sweating stuff a day at a time, a piece at a time, and it'll finally get to where you want it to be. But otherwise, it is awesome. Your voice alone, that's all you can do is just talk, Sam. Everybody's good to go. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Welcome. My brew crew is in the house. I love it. I love it. If I missed anybody, just give me a shout out saying, hey, what about me? And hopefully this stream won't have issues with the chat like the last one. And I'm going to pop that up on screen like I always do so everybody can see. Excuse me, but I already got the other page set and ready just in case I got to watch from that stream to see the chat. But hopefully we won't have the same difficulties as this morning. So hopefully everybody's had a great day. Here we just did I say hi, Sage? Hi, Sage. A little bit of rain this way. It was like a surprise storm. The sky was black. I'm thinking, oh God, are we gonna get a hurricane or something? It was just horrible. And it just blew right by. That's pretty much normal for around here. So hopefully everybody's having a great evening. And news. Actually, Chris and I were just talking about it. I'm going to bring him on board, introduce him, and then we'll jump into what we were talking about. Because, the scuttlebutt is that the Conjuring House has already been sold before the auction. So, ooh, big mystery who bought that. So, let's crease. Sorry, Larry, I was lurking this morning. Haven't been well all day today, but I'm here as long as I can last. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, don't stress yourself out. Just relax and enjoy the show. Without further ado, guys, let's bring Chris on. Hello,
Hey
sir.
everybody, hey Raw Ciders.
Raw ciders. There you go. That's a new one.
Hmm,
Oh,
whatever
how
you
are
want to call it.
you?
Do you have a nickname for your people?
For my morning group, I
Brew crew.
I call them the Brew Crew, and I never even thought about on Wednesdays what they're just my people.
All right.
But
Well, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Laura? Good to talk to you.
I'm hanging in there. Today was a good day, very busy. Just getting everything together for tonight, and just life itself.
I hope she feels better, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, she wasn't feeling too good this morning. This morning is nice. It's laid back. We all just sit with our coffee and, shoot the shit about whatever is going on in life. And it's kind of like a step outside of the paranormal, which is nice because we talk about that stuff all day. And you go through it. It's all day, every day, trying to, get guests lined up for your shows and research. And it's nice to get away from it just for a little while.
Yes.
Sorry, was driving, but now parked. Thanks for the well. Oh, geez, yeah, don't drive. And I am not responsible for anybody's accident, so pull it on over.
I'm a little bit guilty of popping in during red lights, but you shouldn't do that, guys.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that.
Leanne goes, Rawlings. Oh, yeah.
The
There you go.
Rawlings.
And maybe we
like
should
darlings.
come up with something like that. I never even thought about it. Because everybody has like their nicknames for their people, and I just didn't think about it. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Good to see you. So, like I said, I just dropped the bomb there. I'm not sure most people probably heard about it, but how you and I were just talking about the surprise purchase of the Conjuring House.
Yeah. Far as I know, still a mystery who bought it. But it was bought out from under the auction by paying off the balance of the lien.
Right. That's what it is. You assume the mortgage, so you
Well, I
pay it
didn't do
off.
it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have an extra couple of mil laying around, so
I'm preparing myself to be disappointed, but maybe somebody decent swooped in, but I doubt it.
I guess we're all just gonna have to wait. It's just crazy. Because at
Maybe
first
someone in this chat, maybe someone's
yeah.
independently wealthy and they're secretly never talking about it. Maybe Roger bought it. I don't know.
I know. I think it's Susan. Susan's so
Susan
mysterious. Yeah, I bet it's Susan. She just, hides behind that persona of feathers. It's her. I know it. She swooped in and snatched it out from everybody. And I could picture that too.
Right? I mean, I can picture a lot of things. Like
Oh,
over time, you're on this earth for so long. At some point, you can picture everything because you've seen so many things you never thought you would. It's crazy.
Pretty much. And yes, Christy said, Crow is finally home and out of the hospital. Wonderful news.
Does that mean Crow is here?
So no, I'm sure he's not. He's probably resting, but I'm glad.
Oh, she's talking about Crow.
Yeah,
oh my god! Okay,
he's home from the hospital finally.
Well, good.
It's another one that doesn't take care of himself, and it is what it is. You see, you caught me. I bought it. Gonna make it a day spa. Make it. Oh, Lady Fright. She bought it. She's gonna make it a day spa. There you go.
Why not?
Sherry said Trump did it. Yeah, he's going to turn everything. Everything's going to be gold and gaudy. He's got terrible taste. He does. I remember watching a thing about his New York City apartment. Everything is gold. It is just ugly. It's just the ugliest thing.
We shouldn't get political, but the only one place I've seen that looks like his apartment and looks like what he's doing to the White House, and that's overseas dictators like Saddam Hussein's place looked like that.
I know. Gold, just nasty. I don't know. Hey, it's a tough job. My personal, I don't really care for him as a person. I always thought he was a jerk. But you know what? Sometimes you got to have a jerk in office to get things done. Where other
Well,
people are, he's not afraid to open his mouth, and that's
but
maybe that's how it's got to be
it's
done.
that second part of your sentence, get things done.
Yeah,
I think that's a facade more than anything, but that's again, but we shouldn't get too into politics.
exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah. Because I don't like to talk about that either. But
I have hard, defined, unwavering opinions on all that stuff.
So yeah, I don't get into it with anybody or even family because there's always a fight. So it's
Some
and
of my
I always
closest
come out and
friends,
say,
yeah,
yeah, I just say, listen, no matter who's president, he's not going to make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to like him, no matter who it is. So you're along for the ride. It's pretty much how it is.
how optimistic of you.
So it's just the way it is. Because I don't care. Nobody even big since day one. Not everybody liked George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. There was somebody that hated them. So I mean, that just goes with the job. I wouldn't want to be president for nothing. I already told my son when my son was growing up, you don't want to be president. Become famous. You make more money, less problems.
I'm going to say something controversial and then I'll be done with it. And that is that I have a lot of friends and I know a lot of people who don't follow politics because it's so dirty and scummy and they don't want to really deal with it. We're at a time where I'm urging you, no matter who you are, to follow politics and know what's going on. And look at people you think you shouldn't look at. Look at people you think you should look at because you might find things that are unbelievable that you didn't realize before. Just look at everything. Look at everything. I've looked at Fox News, unfortunately, and I know the difference. Like the most important thing we can do in any scenario, cult scenario, control group, we see all the controversies and drama in the paranormal field and in other groups and community groups. Florida talks about the crochet community having conflicts and wars. The most valuable thing you can do for yourself and for the whole topic at hand is to try to see it from the other person's point of view.
Yep.
And if you can't, but you make a legitimate, honest, good faith effort to, then there may be something to it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just be informed, even if you just keep it to yourself. That's great advice. Hi, Aiden.
I did not expect this to come up tonight.
Well, hey, you never know on my show. It's just
you never know on Raw side. This is raw.
That's raw, and we just roll with it. So, all right, Chris, we're just going to get right out of it and ask. I always ask my guests, we know that you're interested in the paranormal. You have your own podcast, but we want to start off with who is Chris the person, and who's Chris?
My lost soul. Just drifting through life, looking for purpose. No, I'm the kid that got mad when people cheered for the bad guys in wrestling. Like even when I knew that it was fake, I was deeply influenced by being a good person, by things that were positive. Like we had things when I was a kid, when you were a kid, I think, and maybe you're like 20 something, so maybe not, but like,
oh yes, 20 something.
Yeah. Like back in the 80s and 70s, we had TV shows. And I know we try not to depend on television to raise the kids, but we had TV shows that really shaped and formed our thoughts about things. So things we would have thought were funny and cool and good to do, we learned were negative and looked down upon. And we saw the humanity of why in an episode of All in the Family or Facts of Life or one of those TV shows back then.
Right.
We don't have that much now. Now it's just sort of hardcore reality television. Be as crude and rude as you need to be. Everybody loves it because it's real.
Crap
I didn't want to follow that path. I'm really annoyed by that. I think people aren't good people right now as much as they maybe one time were. I think there are people who believe there are good people who do bad things and think it's good. And I'm just a guy who got tired of it all. Like I wanted to get into the entertainment industry, and I first wanted to take care of my family and do real work and went to school for a professional trade. And then I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I started this podcast, Come Get Some, which was just an entertainment variety. Let's see if Chris can do something with this thing. Never thought I would speak publicly on a podcast, let alone on a video podcast like this.
Right.
But I got to interview an ex-Scientologist, and I was like,
wow.
I have a platform. And I can actually use this because I had always followed Scientology. I had 3 major things that I did with my boredom and my downtime. And that was to look at I used to look at conspiracy stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I used to look at UFO and ghost stuff, and I would look at Scientology stuff because I was always fascinated by the Scientology claims and thinking, is it real? Is it oversaid? Once upon coming to know these people in the Scientology community, I figured, well, like the thing about Scientology is people get aware of it and it becomes a big deal until people forget about it and stop talking about it. So I made it a platform for people, not just ex-cult members, but also people who were in abusive relationships and things like that, sexually assaulted, physically, mentally. And that became my podcast, So Come Get Some. And that's what led us, long story short, if I skip some things out and just go right to it, kind of what led me into doing Fear of the Living. But Fear of the Living is almost like a passion project because I've always had memories of a paranormal. Well, not always had the memory because it was blocked out, but I had this whole interest in the paranormal and I've never really dove into it. And I'm like, why not just do it? When I saw Stevie's podcast, and I saw that because of Sag, and I saw that because of Beardo, and I saw that because of Casper Site, which is not a debunker. But like this whole thing just spun out of control. I was like, let's do a fun podcast with debunkers and paranormal people and just have fun with it instead of just always stressing over the drama and the anger and the frustration. We have that too. But I'm a truth seeker and I'm going to tell the truth. And that's why it's hard for me to get into a political conversation because I'll go nuts. Like I'll just start
trouble.
going.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much in a nutshell who I am. I'm just trying to do the right thing, family first usually, and I just want people to have fun, man.
Right.
Just
Fantastic.
have a blast.
Let me do a quick hello to everybody who's popped in. Hey, graduate. Hey, Ace. How's it going? Miss Pinky, if I didn't catch it before, and Miss Steph is still at work. Poor dear. Hope you get out soon. Hope you break out soon. Get out. Tell them something come up. You got to leave. Hey, Mark. How's it going, Mark? Loved your live earlier. It was great. Okie dokie. I think I got everybody. Hope so.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Miss Sherry, I think I said hello, but we're going to say it again. I'm not sure. Bad, short-term memory sometimes just isn't working like it used to, guys. Even, being in my 20s and all.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
I pegged it. I knew it.
Yeah, see? It's wonderful.
Nailed it.
Forever 20. That's what I felt good is when I was in 20s. Oh, geez. All right. Now, you went from doing all that. Now, like you said, you started out with, the UFO stuff and all of that. And I'd love to touch base on all that stuff too. But what kind of paranormal experience did you have that made you move into this circle of people?
Geez. I've told this story so many times now. I thought I would never tell this story publicly, but I've told it like a million times. But this is what happened. I was 4 years old. We were trick-or-treating on my street. It was like a regular city block. And we were halfway up the street. It was the end of the night. All the trick-or-treaters were off the street. It was dark. It was just my mother, my brother, or a neighbor, maybe my sister and I. I don't remember if my sister was there or not, so I don't have a perfect memory of it. But I turned around and looked behind us, and there was this sort of glowy, transparent looking woman with her eyes rolled back in her head and her arms reached out, just running up at me. Like she saw me and she wanted to come to me, and she's running up the street, running or floating. I couldn't tell if she had feet under the gown, but it felt like she was floating, but she could have been scampering. But it creeped me out. But that part could be me remembering wrong as a child. I own that as somebody who has taken on the mentality of debunking, right? But like when I look back, the thing that stands out is my brother and my mother, the neighbor, they all turned around and I pointed. There's a ghost chasing us up the street, and I'm pointing at it. And they're like, I don't see anything. I'm like, right there. I don't see anything. It's getting closer. And I'm yanking on my mother's arm.
Oh, wow.
And I climbed up her like 4-year-olds do when they're too picked up, but they want to, like, I'm scared to death. I'm like, Red, it's getting closer. She goes, don't look at it. Go back to the house. I never looked up again, so I don't know what happened to whatever I saw.
Right.
We got in there and I sat down at the children's table in the living room. And you ever seen somebody traumatized? Like, and they're trying to break through to them. Like I was traumatized. Like I wasn't going to go to sleep. I wasn't ever going to be in a dark room again. I'm eating a bowl of cereal as a snack because whatever can cheer me up. And I'm inconsolable, and my mother and brother are just trying to figure out what to say to me. And my mother says, "I think it was a kid in a costume." I'm like, "You guys didn't. I never actually dressed so that they didn't see him." I was like, "But it wasn't that boy down the street because it was too tall. Oh, it was his sister. Okay, but the thing glowed. Well, glowing they can do that with costumes now. All these excuses and reasons for
Right.
this thing they never saw." And because I remember them saying, "There's nothing there," and no, it's there. And that was the thing that made me both angry and just feel helpless. Like, how do you not see that? How can you tell me it's not there? I know it was there. It was such a difficult time, to the point to where I just accepted it was a person in a costume,
Right.
and I forgot about it. I locked it away. It was always kind of there, but it came flooding back one day. I watched an episode of Ghost Hunters at like 34 years old, and
Oh,
they're
okay.
talking about,
Blame Jason.
maybe they were talking about the brown lady ghost or the blue lady ghost, one of those. And I looked it up online. And I saw an artist composite drawing. Now, that's something from UK though, not from Baltimore, Maryland, but it had a similar look to what I saw. So all the memories, just at 34, after never thinking about it since I was 4 years old, all these memories flooded back of that night and exactly what happened. It just
Wow.
sort of just like flooded out. And I'm like, and I said verbally, I'm sitting by myself on the couch in the living room, and I said, that really happened. That really happened. So for me to this day, like, I try not to presume that I knew what I was thinking or had a clear head at 4 years old and didn't imagine things, but I didn't imagine no one else seeing what I so emphatically saw,
Right.
and that stands out. The thing that I saw that they didn't, that I still see in my memory, stands out to me as something that, I don't know. It feels like something happened that night.
Oh, that's incredible. Hi, Marilyn. So happy to see you, darling. And I hope you are feeling better. I heard you were under the weather, so hopefully you're doing well. And thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Chris, now the thing is, okay, you're 4 years old. This all happened. And it never come up through your younger years. You never brought it up to anybody or
Mhm.
nobody ever,
Now,
nothing.
I had a nagging curiosity because my mother had experiences, and I did a podcast I'm hoping to relaunch again on YouTube soon, called "Believe This" with actress Patricia Ray. That we talked about. We actually interviewed my mother about her. She had an
Oh,
experience in the '80s.
wow.
That it's one of those things where, like, I feel like it's not like, well, my mother wouldn't lie to me. It's that she knew how much that kind of stuff freaked me out. So for her to tell that story just meant I happened to be in a room when she told that story, because that story means something to her because something happened.
Right.
She went to Fort McHenry for there's a theme here, not intentionally, but Halloween night. They did a Halloween tour of Fort McHenry in the '80s, and it was like a historical tour for Halloween night, and things might happen. And she saw a soldier walking on the wall in full uniform, and said, "That's so cool. They have actors out here in full uniform, like back, when stuff went down at Fort McHenry."
Right.
And the guide's like, "What are you talking about?" And her friend saw it too. And they're like, "Oh, the guy on the wall." And they're like, "There's no guy on the wall. We didn't hire any actors. Nobody should be here. Let us know if you see that again."
Wild.
That's not the biggest thing of the night. They went to the jail cell where private, I want to say it was John Drew or James Drew. You can research this yourself and find it. It's real easy to find. But Private John Drew, I think. I want to say James Drew. Now I say John. I don't freaking know.
One or
Yeah, it
the
would have been on
other.
real estate. Yeah, one of those. Some Private Drew fell asleep on his post, and he was put in the barracks, and he was in a jail cell. And he was so disappointed in himself that he failed his country, that he was able to reach a musket from outside the jail cell and kill himself.
Oh my goodness.
Well, after telling the story, everybody leaves the cell, and my mom's stuck in the same position she was standing at during the talk from the guides, and she couldn't move until my dad touched her. She said she felt excruciating pain from her foot all the way up to her head. Just sort of like moved up like a moving pain. It was
Right.
excruciating. They took her and my father and their friends aside outside the tour, and what they told her was she experienced what Private Drew experienced when he killed himself, because he pulled the trigger with his toe on the musket, with the musket in his mouth.
Oh, wow.
She made sure she told them because look, my mother comes from a time like she interviewed with us this past year on Believe This, but she grew up with the you don't tell people these stories because they'll think you're nuts, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Um, so so she refused to allow them to put her name publicly. I mean, the story is in their book somewhere,
Right.
but yeah, so that never actually was told publicly. But I have in my research over the years, I wanted to go back and see how true this is, and everything checks out from what I can find, including the story my mother told actually exists somewhere online. I found in a forum, but it was very brief and it was very obscure forum, and I don't remember where it was. But I did see the story printed somewhere, unless it was someone else who had the same experience, which is possible, but no name
Right.
was attached to that experience. Also, I saw somebody who went to a Fort McHenry in the last 15 years, took a picture inside Private Drew's jail cell, and I'm not a biggest person who buys into orbs or anything, but
Right.
there's this big pink orb in this one spot. So I showed my mother a picture of the jail cell without the orb and asked her where it happened, and it was right where the orb was. So I found that kind of interesting.
Well, actually, I find it interesting that they said it was a pink orb.
I saw the picture. In the picture,
And
it looked
yeah,
like
you
this.
don't
Yeah.
normally hear about people seeing colored orbs.
Have you heard of a pink orb before?
So that's the first time I ever heard of a pink orb.
Now maybe it's just an orb, and it was something with the lighting in the photo.
Right.
Maybe Kenny Biddle's a good guy to ask about that. But yeah, that's what I saw on the photo.
I have, witnessed actually, a red orb.
You've seen a red orb?
Yes, I have, but
Was
not
it a
in a
plasma
white.
orb? One of those things? Or
No, it's a local lore here. It's called Star Hill, and I believe it is the spirit of an old doctor that passed away on his way home from a call, lost control of his
Whoa.
buggy, and it rolled over into the ditch. It killed him and the horse. So I believe that it's his spirit that hovers above this road. And it's been every teenager in the area, everybody knows about it in the area. You go and you sit up. They even made a parking area up there now. So you could go up there and sit and wait and see and witness this orb appear and travel up and down this road. And I was there one night with a friend, and it actually turned colors.
So anybody can see this like clockwork.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen all the
Almost.
time. Almost like clockwork, though. And the thing is, you have forest on one side and farm country on the other side, so there's no beam of light. You figure, okay, let's try to debunk what's going on here. It just appears.
It's not swamp gas.
And no,
in that area, no.
not that. I mean, there is a swamp, but it's further way over, so not enough to really affect this area.
Wouldn't think.
Ball lightning, no, because ball lightning doesn't stay for the amount of time that this orb hovers. I mean, it's not like 1 or 2 minutes. It's several minutes. And it travels up and down the road. And actually, there's a family member was up there with friends of hers and actually flew past their vehicle. And of course, they had the shit scared out of them. And so they tried to start their car, and the car wouldn't start.
That's a good question, Sage. Sage asked, was the orb lit or just filled with color?
In the picture or mine, it was just
what you saw in person.
It was yeah. Well, it turned. It was white originally, and then it turned red. You see, it just
it changed
red.
colors. There was no light shining towards it.
No, nothing. It was really odd, and I don't know if it was showing it was angry. I have no clue. It was just really odd, and I haven't had a chance. I wanted to go up this summer, but with the long work hours and stuff, I can't get up there. You got to stay up there. It's after midnight this happens. And then I'd mentioned up on the hill, way up at the top, there is a NASA installation there. Now, is this got something connection to do with UFO stuff? Or some kind of testing thing? But you would see a beam of light coming from that area.
Remind me where you are again?
Say it again?
Remind me where you are again?
Oh, I'm in central New York, and this is in the town of
There's
Steuben.
a NASA location in New York?
And yeah, in the town of Steuben, yes.
I didn't know they had a NASA location there.
Oh yeah, well, because it correlates with the military base in Rome, Rome, New York. We have a military base there, so So there's so many questions again, and then it could be because on the neighboring road, which is called Potato Hill Road, here this show turned into my thing. I'm sorry, guys, but long story. Another road further over is called Potato Hill Road, and there was a guy that was convicted of murdering several women in the area brutally. And then, like I said, there is a swamp over in that area, and that's where he would hide the bodies. Is it one of those people? We don't know exactly who it is, but this thing happens, and it's been happening for generations, and nobody's
seems
actually
I
been up there to
remember-
film any of it, and I would love to be able to catch it.
Gotta get video of that. Yeah, I seem to remember stories of orbs in India that were burning people, and it was some kind of natural thing. I think they might have been red. So I don't know if it's some kind of natural plasma ball or something, but
But they
I
will
don't know
cause
enough
it
about
in a wooded area. I mean, it's farm country and forest, so that's what you've got, and because everybody would say, "Well, it's a beam of light coming from somewhere." No, because you would see the beam, you could see
Yeah.
it projecting from somewhere. This just appears and it does its thing, and sometimes it'll travel towards you, or it goes up and down, or it'll just dissipate. It's really strange.
Now I want to go there, and I'll stay as late as I need to.
So
That's the thing, right? So you have a paranormal experience, and I think that is the reason why like 90% people who are good faith actors in the paranormal get involved, is to experience it again, to validate your own experience. And
yes.
sometimes, no matter how much proof you find, no matter how much experiences you have to piggyback, it's almost like it's never enough.
Well, no, it compiles because, okay, why did this happen, or why did that happen? Hi, Marie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Because it's not my first. I mean, I've had several experiences, growing up, as well as my sister. So it does trap you, because you're like, okay, why did this happen? How can we figure it out? So it's the mystery that we're all digging through.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just the way it rolls. Eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to get up there and sit there. The last time I was there, which actually was this summer, but it was earlier. My husband and I drove up there, but there was 2 kids in separate cars in the parking area, and they were blasting music. So I couldn't even get any kind of like EVP recordings or anything during the day, because it was contamination. So, which kind of annoyed me, but
I never understood that, but that's a whole nother old people complaining about young people conversation. So, like,
right. Well, they were there. I get it. They were
when I
there
was younger-
relaxing,
when I was
enjoying.
younger, I would let my friends blast their music, and I would act like I was enjoying it, but really, I was like, "What are you doing?
I
You're
would
just trying to
blast-
hurt your head."
blast
Why-
music at
why?
home, or while driving. But when we're sitting somewhere and the view is beautiful, why waste it with all that noise?
Yeah,
So all I got was some
it did
still
their
shots.
thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And I said, well, so much for that, because I planned on staying there, and it didn't work out that way. So, but I'll also have to get back up there.
I'll
before the
endure it
snow.
all for the science of the orb.
Just to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know the first. I know all these people now in the paranormal. I don't know the first place to start to get my investigation juices going, but I'm gonna investigate some things soon, I'm sure.
So, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever been on an investigation, or do you plan on doing any investigating?
Yeah, I've been into I've been on a dinky ghost tour of a small town, right? And the $20 thing, and it was what it was. But like, I was at an informal haunted ghost tour location. It was, I wish I remember the name of it. I could find it if I look for it. But I have a friend who's a paranormal investigator, well, an acquaintance in a different area of Florida, who put on Facebook one night, like, y'all want to go to the prison? So a bunch of people met up there. It was a really long drive for us, and it was not a great area, which most haunted places worth going to are not in a good area. I'm hearing. So I went in there, and like all the windows are out. You can't go into certain rooms because the roof is collapsing, and not a lot happened. But I will say this. Let me talk a little bit about what did happen there. Hey, Wayne Dawson's here. Candy's
Hello, Sir Wayne. Hi, Candy.
It's a seg raid.
Yay! That's all right. Bring him
Gotta
on.
love seg. Gotta love seg. All right. So there's a jail cell upstairs, this is going to be one of those things that that seems fake to me. Now, the first jail cell, the lady says to me, "Walk in there and tell me how you feel." So, what do you think is going to happen when I walk in there? I might feel like something's happening, right? So I go in there and I feel a little off balance, a little woozy, a little dizzy, and I explain that to her, and she's like, "Yeah, the prisoner there had a heart attack." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know if I felt that way because you told me I was going to feel something, or maybe the floor is off level a little bit." But I went in that jail cell like multiple times throughout the night again, and nothing felt weird those other
Right.
visits in. So I don't know what that means, but it seems to me like suggestion.
Yeah, she set you up
Um,
for it.
I feel like it. And there was another jail cell where there's coins on one of the, because they have the bunks, but there's no mattresses, so it's all metal. And they have the coins there, pennies, nickels, dimes, and apparently, people who do ghost investigations there have the prisoners' ghost move the money around. And we didn't witness any of this, but while talking to the ghost, trying to convince him to do it, I was running an audio recording from my iPhone. That's why I think DR60 or any recording device is unnecessary in a haunted investigation. I was running my audio, and again, this could be something like a Mandela effect where none of us just remember it. But when you play the audio back, we hear either change jingling or keys jingling in the background,
Oh,
and nobody remembers that sound being there. But again, it could be confirmation bias with the group. Maybe we just don't remember.
right.
And then at the end of the night, we were all upstairs. It really felt like I was wasting my time. It felt a bit farcical, but we heard a crash downstairs. And we went downstairs and there was nothing. It just sounded like a crash, like somebody like broken in or something. But how would you know with all the windows open and crashed out?
Right.
But we're standing in the middle of the big open lobby area where all the windows are missing, and so there's lots of noise pollution. And I keep hearing this like clung, 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 and everybody's standing around in a circle, like we're about to leave. It's almost morning, and we're talking about stuff that has nothing to do with the paranormal. It's just a group discussion. And I keep looking out the window to see if I can figure out where that sound is coming from. And they said, "Chris, do you hear something?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I think it's something outside. Nothing big, no big deal." And the one guy goes, "Wait a minute." And he goes down the hallway where the cells are. When I hear ding, ding, and he goes, "Is that what you heard?" I'm like, "That's exactly what I heard." He goes, "Oh, that's the bars being banged on in the jail cells." I was like, "Yeah, it
And
sounded like that."
nobody else was hearing that?
No, but I don't know if anyone else was listening for it. Like here I am at
Okay.
the tail end of an investigation that felt kind of empty,
Okay.
wanting to experience something. So I'm extra
Yeah,
ears.
you were straining to
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
something.
I'm looking for it. So that could also lead to thinking you heard something. So
Right.
I'm open to that. So it does, to me, it feels like it's not a nothing investigation, but it's also not conclusive in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but don't ever downplay your experience because it might be legit. You just can't prove it.
Yeah,
So it's a legitimate, experience that you had at that time. And the thing is, what else would cause that? See, that's where I would start debunking, if I was hearing that. What else would cause that sound? Because that's a pretty distinct sound, something banging against the bars.
yeah. That was the thing that struck me, was it sounded just like it, and I was just convinced there are people just doing stuff outside, because there's lots of neighborhood hijinks going on. A lot
Right,
of people out
right.
there. But who will wet bang them? That's the question, Wayne. Dun dun dun. We don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know. And I was just talking to Stevie and Taryn about it on Taryn's Paranormal Brew last week. Was that in that same place there was, it sounded like the Estes machine, like the spirit box, little
Right. That noise
works.
drives me nuts.
It's horrible. And I walked in by myself for a while. I braved the prison by myself for about 30 minutes. And I walked in and I said in front of the machine, like, "Do you mind if I look around a little bit by myself?" And they said, and I heard like, "I don't care." And I played that for someone outside and they heard it too. And if I play it today, it doesn't sound anything like "I don't care." It just sounded like what I wanted it to sound like. What are some of
Okay.
the strangest things you've experienced on investigations? Well, that's the thing, Sage. I'm not an investigator, and I'd be happy to investigate more often. That's what we're talking about now. I want to do more. That was like an open opportunity, almost a gift from a from an acquaintance to allow me to be there.
Right.
I want to go investigations. I want to investigate, and I feel like what we see on YouTube is not paranormal investigation. It's just whatever we can do to entertain the people and get more clicks.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, the strangest things I experienced paranormal wise would be the ghost at 4 years old.
So okay, now that you've had that experience, so that's driving you to go out and do more, correct?
Not because of the experience. If anything, if I was less persistent, that experience would make me not want to do more. Like my wife never wants to go along again.
Oh,
It was the most boring, to some extent scary, and not because of the ghost. Fear of the living, folks. But it was just
she was worried about the
touch and go
vagrants that are
there.
going to jump out.
Yeah, there were people, and this is like a neighborhood, but like there's people standing around a trash can keeping their hands warm, which happens
Yeah.
in certain areas. And there were people that appear to be doing drug deals about 3 houses down. So it was a little bit touch and go there. We were nervous.
I don't blame you. It's scary. You never know what you're going to run into. I mean, even just like me, I do the cemetery work. You never know who's going to be around. And I'm not afraid of the dead. It's the living.
Wayne,
Yeah.
you just saw Venom, the
Yeah.
first one, for the first time. There's 2 more, buddy. You gotta catch up, man.
What's the matter with you? Slacker. No, it's
Unless you just saw Last Dance, then I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
so yeah, that's great. Now, as far as investigating or debunking, who would be your choice to go out with if you had anyone that you could pick from?
Um, it's interesting, right? Because I think if I want to not get too carried away with myself, I would go with Kenny, right? So it depends on where my head's at the time, right? If I want to not get too ahead of myself, but have a real good investigation and maybe have fun, be like Seg and Beardo or one of those guys. I trust Stevie's judgment implicitly. I think she's sincere. I don't think she would ever lie or fake a something that happened. She might need someone to keep her level head too, maybe. I don't know, because I think we're kind of in the same boat where we're believers, but we become more increasingly skeptical of things over the years, but we can't deny our own experiences. And I just said skeptical, really weird, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I already told Stevie if she ever goes to Waverly Hills Sanitarium, not to go without me. So
Oh yeah, that would be
and
fun.
try to get Jeff from Boo Paranormal Productions in on that.
There you
I
go.
don't know when or if that'll ever happen, but I'd like to see it happen.
So well, yeah, you got to let everybody know that's the plan and see what you guys could come up with. Roger wants to know,
Roger,
which
yeah.
do you think are the main 3 things that an investigator should take with them?
It's a great question, Roger. I am a believer that there are tools of the paranormal that are just absolutely crap, that are absolutely just for selling, making money, and fake proof and evidence. I also think there are some tools that are debunked, that are talked about being trashed, that could be useful if you're with a group of people you trust and you know no one's going to play with them. Like I think REM pods could be useful if you know they're not going to be manipulated, but that's why you got to select who you're going to go on the investigation with, right? So bring REM pods, someone you trust, and the most important thing you can possibly bring is your own awareness, because there is no better evidence you're going to ever experience than what you see for yourself, because people can tell me my story and I won't believe it, but I experienced it.
Right. Well, that's why I always tell everybody there's no such thing as a professional in this field. You're only a professional within your own experience.
Professional bullshitters. I mean,
Because it's well, yeah, there's a lot of that too. But I mean, we're all just here for the same thing, collecting data and trying to find truth. And it's each time you go out is a different experience, so you don't know. Hey, Jared, how's it going? Thanks you for joining us. Actually, yeah, I think Jared was just talking about equipment. Actually, the other night when he was on somebody's live.
is Jared Jacobs?
Jared, man versus goats. Ghosts.
Man versus ghost.
Goats. Well, that's a slip. Yeah, Jared's really cool. He's real serious about it.
Man versus ghost. Okay.
Excuse me. Yourself and a witness and a camera. Yeah, there you go, Wayne.
That's
But then
almost what I said.
everybody, you go through the same thing when you show, stuff that you've collected, and you show it, and they're like, oh, you did this or that, this or is this or that. And there's always going to be some rational explanation why you caught what you caught. So it's
You're
really
gonna put
hard.
Jaffo up there, that question?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. If you need the pens to be a paranormal investigator, you don't need to be a paranormal investigator.
That's good. Yeah, because I always a lot of ask everybody, are you a runner or a chaser? Because usually when you hear a loud bang or this, that, everybody's out the door. And then
The only reason I would run or be scared of a loud bang at a haunted location is if I think somebody has entered the joint that's another human being.
right.
I
Well, I
didn't
loved
go.
it
I
when
don't go looking
Seg
for
was
ghosts, so I cannot find them.
when Seg was investigating with Joe and all of them. I loved it because when he saw the dark shadow at the end of the corridor, Seg just took off running right after it. I'm thinking, oh, that is awesome. I would love to see more people do that.
That's
But
what you should do. I mean, even Casper Slade, who gets kind of crap for not, for thinking things are legit that aren't, and he does a little slight debunking, but he's just like, Rambo it. He means open the door before there's a chance to make a cut. They just jiggled the handle. Open the door.
Right.
Open the door.
Get on
Open the
it,
door. You took too
right?
long.
So yeah, that's what you're after, because it's just going to disappear really fast. So take that opportunity.
Right, but the whole point is they don't do it fast because it's not real.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. No, yeah, when people scream and run, you're not serious. You're not serious. Can you imagine? I was the same haunted prison. There was a lady there, and I always talk about how I don't know for sure if she was really having these experiences, which I'd hate to invalidate her experiences, or if she was helping sell rented nights at the jail, because that came up at the end. Like, you can always rent this out for your friends. But like, she kept complaining, stop poking me, stop pulling my hair. And I'm over there like, you can pull my hair. You can poke me.
Right.
Push me. Do something. I want to know you're real. So it was kind of interesting to me, but also I understand it was a men's prison and maybe like picking on the girls. So who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
Hi, Carla. How are you doing, Dolly? And Reality, thanks for joining us. What he says here, it is super important to field test your own equipment. I 100% agree.
Yes.
Know its flaws and limitations, and above all, make your own conclusions on paranormal related equipment. Exactly. Because I'm not a big advocate for a lot of the bells and whistles that people use, but I always tell them, still do it. Still go out there, test it, because there's going to be that one time where it actually something's going to happen. We just don't know.
That said that? Somebody said they were putting somebody told me they did that. I can't remember now, but they would put they would use not just round, it was a bunch of them to go against each other to see if it was consistent. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know if you want to add noise to the whole thing, but that was that person's suggestion.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Test it all out. It might not be good at one location, but at another, you're going to get different results no matter where you go. So eventually, somebody's going to come up with something that they don't expect.
By the way, if you're going to do a paranormal channel on YouTube and you're going to say, "Did you hear that?" Please don't make that the loudest point of your music playing in the background. We're all listening to hear it, and all we hear is.
I know.
Come on, guys.
Gotta be quiet. Actually, Jared is the one, I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, that when he goes on investigation, he does use cat balls, but he puts them down on like a towel so that it stabilizes the cat ball. And if that thing's moving after that, then you've got something going on. And I believe it was Jared that did it. I think that's brilliant. Instead of just leaving it on a bare floor, so vibration would make it move.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's a great idea.
I would use cat balls, but I wouldn't swear by them.
All right, well, no, my cat doesn't even play with cat balls, so that's how exciting they are. But I think the towel idea, or even if you made a case of some sort to set them in a stand, and then if it's going to communicate to you that, it's going to tap it, but at least it'll be in a stabilized form. So nothing else will screw around with it. It's you got to
That's
play with that
interesting.
stuff. All right, Cree has a question. Don't think people are looking for different things when investigating and not being scientists. They do things their way and they think it's scientific, but scientists would say no.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, Tanny Biddle can show you that.
Oh, yep. Yep.
I'll tell you what. I think a good example might be, and I don't know how much the Ouija brothers tried to say it was paranormal, but that pram going down the stairs. I mean, there's nothing scientific about that.
I
The scientific reasons why it did, but no scientific reasons why that's a good test.
I see what when Beardo and them were there, and I was watching that intently because everybody was thinking maybe that it was the strip underneath and it caused it to fall. And then, of course, they're talking about the level of the top step. I agree. It should have been pushed back a little bit more. But if you do watch the video, it looked like it was pushed from the handles. Because there's going to be
You're
a
a
difference.
believer
The way
that was paranormal.
the way that it fell. No, I believe that something happened and we just can't explain it. Because, I mean, it's wide open there because the way it fell forward instead of from underneath. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if somebody pushed it or if it fell, by what they're thinking that it did, it would have fallen a different way. It looked like something had pushed the handles. Now, whether they had something that was attached to it and pulled it, I mean, I'm not saying that anything was faked, but and then they tested out the stairs. It was level. So why else
It's like
would
we
they?
were talking when we had Kenny on the show the first time. We were talking about how like this ghost apparently pushed, or a ghost in that house apparently pushed a grandfather clock down the stairs from the corner.
Oh,
But
I
it's
didn't.
struggling to push a pram,
Yeah. So that's what
a
I'm
baby
saying.
doll pram.
I don't know. It's really, really weird. Oh, let's see here. I did miss. Yes, yeah, it is Jared. Yeah, he puts him on a towel. To keep him stabilized, so nothing will disturb them while and I think it's a brilliant idea. Because I mean, if you're getting something off of that and it's on a towel, something.
Yeah, but that's less likely to move and give me evidence for my video. Come on, Laura. I gotta give him a chance to move.
You said, yeah, definitely. It looks like something pushed it. Yeah, it just the way that it was falling. It's really hard for me to explain it, but it does look like something pushed it from the handles because it toppled forward. So I don't know that. I mean, it's the test that they'll have to do and just do it over and over. I'm on the fence about that place.
Well, either ghosts are like super weak and have trouble moving things, or they're super strong and can lift couches and TVs and refrigerators. So, I mean, which is it?
It depends on what you're dealing with, I guess.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing over the years of my entire life is either they could barely move it, or they had monstrous demon strength. Which is it?
All right,
it can't be both.
Leanne says, yeah, Ouija brothers didn't say it was paranormal. They just couldn't explain it. Yeah, they couldn't explain it. There again, another mystery.
I'm fine with them not claiming it's paranormal. I guess it's fine to present it and say, "Look, tell us what you think of it," and then this is what it was. That's fine.
Right.
Instead of saying like a ghost pushed a pram downstairs. That's not what they did. That's good.
Again, like when they were doing when they were spending the night, and you see something pushing down on Griff's chest. Okay, what the hell was that?
That was interesting. I remember that. That goes back to about a year and a half now.
Yeah, that was when I'm thinking, okay, there is something going on there. Because what the hell was that?
Yeah.
So again,
I'm not saying it can't be faked, but the problem with this is that depending on what you think of the Ouija brothers, because there's still a lot of people who have differing opinions about them. I'm indifferent to the Ouija brothers. I have complaints about some things they've done, and I just don't care. Big picture, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. But like, they've developed a reputation for not being fake,
right?
So what happens is when the first sign of them actually doing something fake occurs, then we all go into denial. We don't know if we can call it out because not them, they can't do that.
Well, that would be devastating. I'll tell you that to a
Yeah.
lot of people because I do believe that they're honest guys. I haven't been shown any reason to think otherwise so far. And again, yes, they don't say that it is paranormal, so that's it's just another experience in the books. Enoch's used and act the same way Kenny and his team said theirs did. You can't make a conclusion off of one device. You have different models to make one. No, I agree with that. You test several different models, test it in several different ways. That's why I always tell everybody, just keep doing it. And God bless you, you got the money to get all of those gadgets, but you just got to keep testing it. That's how we're going to learn.
Exactly. No, everything is trial and error. Nothing's definite. Nobody's the professional authority on it. That's why I can say whatever I believe here, and none of it's definitive. It's my thoughts on it.
Right. Well, yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody knows. Let's see. Yeah. Man says, where have you investigated paranormal? What locations? He's only done one.
Right. I want to do more, and it's just a matter of time, knowing the right people, and finding the right places to do it. And I don't want to go with just anybody because I don't know who's legit and who's not, and I just don't trust people. I have trust issues. But yeah, I want to say, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was the old Gilchrist County Jail, but I could be wrong about that. I'm gonna double check the website for it. Why does the website? No, the website does not need Flash. I think
Never
it's
works. Never works when you want it to.
Right.
So if there
that's
was, a place that you were going to investigate, where would you want to go?
Well, like I said, I told people not to go without me to Waverly Hills.
A lot of people pick that.
I have a story for it. I don't know if I should protect that story. Yeah, it's old Gilchrist. I don't know if I should protect that story for later or if I should just tell people. I'll tell so many people.
Go ahead, let it out. We won't tell on you.
It's a secondhand story from someone who I have no reason to doubt,
Right.
but had and at the time of the conversation, really had no motivation to make things up. I barely knew the guy at the time, and I've come to know him pretty well over the last year and a half. Oh, really? Okay. Man vs. Ghost, you're in Florida?
Yes, he does.
He does Florida. All right, well, I'm going to talk to Man vs. Ghost later. Try to figure things out here.
Yeah, maybe you can
You vouch for him later? I'll hold you
investigate.
accountable.
Oh, Jared's a great guy, and he's really serious. So,
yeah, so the Waverly Hills Sanitarium. This guy told me he went there for a ghost tour, and it was the same thing you see on every ghost tour, where you walk through, they tell you the history, nothing happens. They had just done the first 2 floors, but they went up to the 5th floor for a smoke break because that's where all the windows and walls are blown out, so they can do smoking up there. And him and his friend, St. Pete, okay, not too terrible. So they talk to each other about how goofy this is, how there's nothing here, this place isn't haunted, this is ridiculous, stupid tour. And one of the tour guides, I don't know if it was a security, I don't think they have security on these tours, or I don't remember if he's a security or another tour guy, came to him and said, when we get to the 3rd floor, the tour is going to turn right. You're going to come with me and turn left, you and your friends. So it's 3 of them with the tour guide. They go down, the tour goes right, they go left. I don't know which hall it was, and I'm wondering if it's closed off to the public, because why wouldn't they take the tour through there?
right.
But they went down. He sent my friend, my person at the time I was talking to, down the hall and said, walk till you see where the moonlight's coming through the window the most, which is kind of weird. But he said he did that, and he turned around. He said, put your arms out. And he felt a cold brush towards the right side of his face, and the friends down the hall were freaking out. He says, why are you freaking out? There was something over your right shoulder floating there.
Oh,
and that was the whole story. But like, if that's a true story, which it sounds pretty unbelievable, if that's a true story, then if you find the hall in question, you could really recreate on command almost, it seems, some kind of paranormal experience. Unless that's when the air ducts turn on into place, but I don't think they have air in there.
well, and like you said, why wasn't that part on the tour?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about that, and I would bring it up to the people who run the place when we go there, but I do have questions, and I'm pretty sure like if they don't want us down that hall, we won't get down that hall.
Right. Well,
But
because that makes you question when you go to certain places and well, you can go all over it, but here, and then you're like,
I'm sure
why?
there's a few halls they pass. I'm sure in the whole place, and a lot of it, a lot of times they'll tell you it's dilapidated or it's not safe.
Okay.
You can't go there without a hard hat. I'm speculating completely.
So, well, then I go, give me a hard hat. I'll chance it.
Yeah, don't you sign a release before you go to these places anyway?
Well, yeah, you're supposed to. So, but see, that's the reason a lot of the places here where I am are you're not allowed to do because of that. It's either unsafe, they're worried about insurance risk, people suing them and it's an that. And so it's a really downer because there's a lot of buildings here I would love to go into, but if you don't get permission from the city, forget it. They're not going to do it. Let's see, an old piece of tech that is
That's what I was
helpful.
reading.
Could be benefit corresponding results with an EMF meter is a cell phone signal detector. I see a lot of people debunking K2 meters when it jumped on me when that can be avoided. Good advice. Thank you.
Wow.
Natural
Okay.
EMF waves are always present, but typically not consistent and low level. See, that's another thing is, what frequency is everybody, trying to collect the data in? That's another thing I wanted to get into on another show with people that deal with sound and electronics and different frequencies and stuff like that. These are things that we have to learn to adjust. Because if there is something out there and maybe it is communicating, but it's on a different frequency. So even though we have these gadgets, who's to say that we're using them at the right levels to detect what we need to detect? So that's another thing that I wish people would try different, just experiment with different levels, different frequencies.
Look,
And
we all know what you have to do. You just got to put on a pair of headphones playing mixed radio signals like a scanner, and have Josh from Exploring with Josh yell the questions at you really loud and lean into you while you yell at them. That's all you got to do.
Have you
That's
ever
the
had any
answer.
bad experiences in dealing with people in the paranormal?
With people?
Just the people in general, investigators, groups.
God, that's loaded, Laura. You know what you're doing. Come on. Yes, it's how I got involved in doing podcasting for the paranormal, but that's not going to be discussed today.
Well, see, that's the segue into how did you get into doing the podcasting for the paranormal?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. As I was doing Believe This with Patty, I had a lot of we had a few conversations rather with some people in the paranormal, and it began thinking like that would be so fun. And what my real vision was, and this is before I knew the group that started the podcast with me, because right now the main hosts are myself and Stevie. We were co-hosting with Taryn Kerper from Paranormal Brewer, Victor Johnson from there's a haunted areas Destination Spooky. I should not be forgetting the name of his podcast. And Stevie from Truth or Demons, as well as Kristen, who was part of the situation that got me with this group. But before I knew any of them except for Stevie, I was telling Stevie, I had this goal of starting a paranormal podcast where we could bring a lot of the people from the paranormal, the more respectable people with integrity,
Right.
to play around with us on the podcast, have some fun, joke around. And like I always watch these things. If you look back at, like I'm a child of the 70s and 80s, but 70s television, you had these game shows and these talk shows where the same people in that in the entertainment community would come together. There was like this, like the kind of like the celebrity roast and stuff they did back
Right,
then with
right.
before the Comedy Central version. But all these same people were always showing up, and you see it in British TV a lot. And I was like, what if we did it for that for a podcast on YouTube for the paranormal community? So I have yet to bring a bunch of different debunkers together and people in paranormal community together in one hodgepodge, which is still a goal. But that was kind of what I had with this group we had here. And by the way, I should say, in the upcoming next episode, we haven't filmed it yet. Fear the Living, Taryn Kerper's coming back to do a reaction video.
Nice.
The same thing that Seg just did. We weren't sure if he was doing it or not. We kind of thought he would, but we still wanted to do our own reaction to Expedition X. So I might be the only one who hasn't watched it yet, so I'll have the most legitimate reactions, like sincere reactions, and I'm looking forward to that. So Taryn is coming back for that at least one episode. She wants to come back more, but it's just timing and scheduling.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened. I just wanted to have fun with paranormal folks and just talk to people and pick their brains and discuss what's happening currently in the paranormal. And
Have you
so far,
noticed?
13 episodes in, it feels like we've been doing it forever. But
Yeah. No, you're doing all right. Have you noticed any changes in the paranormal community since you started getting involved with everybody?
have I noticed any changes?
Yes, just in as far as the community itself, and the
Changes that have occurred during the period of the last year, or
within the past year. Have you noticed any
actual
kind
changes?
of actual, just changes as far as a community as a whole?
Yeah, I would say the bunkers have been more widely accepted, because I think more debunkers have more widely shown an interest in wanting to believe. It's not just looking for every excuse to tell you it's not real. I mean, Kenny's still doing that, but he's such a lovable guy. You just go with it.
The dream crusher.
I'm telling you, man. Aliens.
That's why you bring him. That's
right. Someone's got to keep you level, and that's the guy
Yeah.
to keep you level.
yeah, he's the guy
That's
that slaps the sense into you. That's what it is.
So that's the biggest change I've seen. There's been it's just the fighting amongst the community. So many people, and this is what happens with control groups and people being brainwashed. You have that conflict of you're challenging my beliefs, and I don't
Yeah.
like you for that.
And that's the first thing, that everybody goes for.
Right. Take a group of debunkers to Indiana State Sanatorium. That would be an extremely interesting video. Is that very active there?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
you
but
lost your video, right?
yeah,
Or is
I'm
that-
all right. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, okay.
Are you close to Jared?
A couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
If you were going to do a legitimate investigation, I really believed that I was going to, be able to participate in something meaningful, even if nothing happens, because you expect nothing to happen. I would definitely make the trip. I would work things out and schedule it for sure.
There you go, Jared. Put him to work. Get him out there. Take him to a place that makes him really wonder what's going on. That would be awesome. And then of course,
Candy is awesome.
yeah,
I was
he's
looking at the comments. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, he says very active. Yeah, so yeah, Jared, you got to grab him and take him, and you got to film it so we all can watch. So
I will not
okay,
be running away.
yeah, right. He's not gonna be running away,
I won't be screaming like a girl.
which is good. You won't be screaming and running, yelling demon and all
Yeah.
of that. He said,
Let's
"Let's
do
do it." There you go.
I'm in. I'm easy.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. So yeah, you guys will have to touch base, and actually, you'll have to invite him on your show one time, and then
Yes, certainly.
yeah, you'll get him in there. And Jared was a great guest. I had him on a while back, and he's got a lot of experience. He's got a true passion for it, but he also has the true passion for the truth. Not he doesn't make things up. If it's
That's
not what it
matters.
is. Yeah, he doesn't say, "Oh, doesn't jump on the paranormal train." He just says, "Okay, this is what happened, and I've got to dig deeper to find out what actually is going on."
Yeah,
And
we
so-
all know a few people who have done like little shows that didn't last very long or didn't get picked up or whatever after a season. I know somebody, and I told them, they asked me what I thought of it, and I said it bored me to death. I loved it because I felt weird about some of the tools that were being used. I wasn't sure how legitimate it was, but I knew I could have a little bit of belief in it because they weren't trying to force it. They weren't trying to tell you this is something it's not.
Right.
If shit didn't happen, shit didn't happen. Like early Ghost Hunters days.
Well, that's what it is. People don't realize, everybody here in the community realizes it because they've heard it from everybody. Paranormal is boring. It's a lot of hours of just sitting around talking to space, waiting for something to answer. And, you're lucky if you get an answer. More than lucky. Even the slightest thing that you might catch, EVP or a blip on the camera, that is something that you're excited about. And that's what keeps us coming back for it. Because I've heard that a lot of times.
The only thing that could really convince me definitively that I had a good experience is if I get a visual. I need a visual.
Well, yeah, and you've already had that experience, so
I need another one when not from an adult eyes, not from a 4-year-old's eyes.
right. So and when it does happen, how do you think you're going to react to it? Are you going to believe it, or are you going to debunk the shit out of it to prove that it wasn't?
I'll look at all the options, but sometimes you know what you saw when you saw it, right? You know
Right.
what you're looking at. Like I saw a transparent UFO once, and I always tell people, like, I know what I saw. It was invisible. Don't tell me I didn't see it. I know what I saw.
Wonder Woman. She was in her invisible jet.
Big ass jet.
So, oh yeah. Well, I had the same experience, but it wasn't an invisible. It was a black disc-shaped object in the sky.
Wow.
And my husband and I, we were dating. Then he was walking me back home, and we just happened to look, clear sky, no clouds, nothing, just blue, and it was just sitting there. And I made the joke to him. I said, "Well, they're here to pick you up and take you back to your planet." And we stood there for 15 minutes watching this thing. It didn't move. And as soon as we turned around and then looked back, it was gone. Nowhere to be found anywhere. So what the hell was that? And it's funny because we didn't see any other reports about people seeing it. Of course, this was back in the 80s. So you didn't have
a lot harder to look for conjoining sightings.
Yeah, that stuff didn't pop up in the news, and you didn't have cell phones so you could take pictures. And I didn't have a habit back then of walking around with a 35 millimeter camera in my pocket. So what was it? It wasn't a weather balloon. It wasn't a drone. It was, because it had the flying saucer shape to it, and it was jet black, and it just sat there. So, I mean, if it was anything that was floating, you would have movement. It was no movement.
That sounds like the description of the O'Hare Airport sighting.
Really strange. And then just instantly gone. No trail, nothing. No.
You hear about the O'Hare Airport sighting?
No, I didn't. I have to look that up.
The 2000, I want to say 4 or 5 or something. People at Gate 7 were looking up, and there was also a guy taxiing. The guy drives the plane from one place to the other for the pilot. There was a black disc in the sky, and it just took off straight up and left a hole in the clouds.
Wow.
No video, no photographs, but lots of eyewitness accounts, including reports to the FAA about it. But they described it kind of like that, black. They might have had better look at the one at the airport than you had at the one where you were,
right?
Depending on positioning. But it looks like they were looking right up at it. It was like metallic black.
And that was when, 2001?
I want to say 2005. If you say O'Hare UFO, it'll probably take you there if you want to do a search on it.
I'll have to look into that and see, because did they happen to have a photograph of it or no?
No, people claim to have photographs that were confiscated, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Because if I seen it again, I would recognize it instantly.
I remember an airline steward being, she was freaking out because it was making her question her religion, which I don't understand why aliens and religion have to conflict. Both can be true at the same time. I mean, I get the whole idea, like if there's aliens, then we're not the one true people built by God or whatever. But I think people a lot of times overthink things when those things are involved.
Well, yeah, if you're going that route, I always look at it this way: why would we be the only species that he would create? Who's to say that there aren't other beings created.
What's he been doing for 3,000 years?
I
He's
mean,
got
you
to
know,
get
it's not, oh,
bored.
just here, we'll put them here and that's it. We're not the only ones. There's no way. It just doesn't make any sense. So
No
they might
sense at
not
all.
look like us, and definitely with all of these sightings, they're definitely more advanced than we are. Because I always make that joke now when people see, sightings of UFOs and this thing, and I say, this is because they're driving by, they stop for a second and look down and say, "Yep, still stupid," and then they leave. Because we're babies compared to them.
Yeah.
You know, any species they can, develop, interstellar flight. I mean, way beyond what we know.
Yeah, Kenny and Florio get mad at me when I get into UFOs because they don't want to hear any of that. But no, the transparent one I saw freaked me out the most. I've seen a couple different sightings, but that one was weird because I'm driving, perfectly blue sky, and I see the outline of something, and I'm trying to make it out. It gets a little bit more defined, and then just disappears. Perfect blue sky, no
Yeah.
lines. It didn't like fade away slowly. It didn't go piece by piece. It wasn't smoke. It wasn't bubbles. It wasn't birds. I have no idea. But I seriously sat at lunch with my mother at Chili's that same day after that drive, like contemplating whether to check myself into a mental ward because I couldn't make sense of what I saw.
So yeah, and it's like I said, I made the joke with my husband. He goes, "That ain't funny," and I go, "Yeah, it is," but then it's gone. So who knows? Yeah, I think we would have shit ourselves if we saw a beam coming down. Run!
Yeah. I look very closely at cow fields to see if one's floating in the air.
Oh,
But
there you go. Hey, that's a way to
just
that's a way to figure
a
it
weird,
out.
it's a weird glitch of mine, kind of.
Why are they after our cows? Hi, Dragon. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're great this evening. But yeah, Man versus Ghost. I appreciate hearing that. He is uncorruptible and isn't afraid to debate his friends, Kenny Biddles, Seg, etc. Yeah, I just love it. It's. I have a question for you because I've asked this of investigators themselves. Do you think, because you've watched the debunkers, you see how it works. Do you think it's possible that investigators will debunk themselves out of true evidence?
I think Seg already has. If you listen to Seg talk about the ghost he saw as a child with his family there present, all witnessing it, that he debunks that still today with witnesses. I don't know how the rest of his family feel about it, if they went along with it or if they still believe. That's a little bit of denial, but he's kind of in a place to where I think he's in a place to where he would need to see it again to validate what he thinks he might have saw when he was a kid. But I think he debunked himself out of real evidence, just personal experience evidence.
And again, like with somebody like Kenny Biddle, he goes everything through a scientific perspective.
Yeah.
So, do you think that he would ever believe that he's actually had an experience of the paranormal? Do you think it would ever register in his mind that what he's seen is actually paranormal?
I think he can get pretty close if he witnesses it in person and can't recreate it on the spot. But he will probably never give up trying to get the proper recreation of it. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be hard for him to accept. But I think there's some things that could happen to all of us that we would just never deny. Like being molested by a demon that has no private parts, like that.
Yeah, I pass on that one. Pass on that one. I know. I don't get people that well, and we can't judge because we don't know. We didn't experience it, but yeah, that one I'll pass on.
I'll take you back to my conversation. It just really pisses Kenny off when I bring up Roswell. But when my recent episode of Fear of the Living with Stevie and Kenny said that Roswell was Project Mogul. I'm like, that's the answer everybody gives. That's the answer the government gives. That's the accepted answer. But that's the accepted answer. Dig deeper, use your senses. And he's like, well, use your senses, right? Not those exact words, paraphrasing. But the point was, I was like, you mean to tell me that a government secret experiment crashed in Roswell And the first word to the press to not give away their secret project was to panic the public that alien disc has crashed. That was your first statement?
You would think it would be the last thing that they would say because they feel that we're not mature enough to handle
So
something that way.
I think Kenny kind of goes into sometimes a little bit of an argument that's a non-argument argument, like well, it worked, and
Yeah.
you can't argue that argument regardless of how meaningless it is, because well, it's not beyond a government agency to misdirect people with stuff like that, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it worked. Maybe that was the plan. It was a weird plan, if that was it. But then I said in 1950, not 1950, 1997, 50 years after Roswell, they released the files and said, here's what really happened. There was a big news conference. I remember watching this live. And he said, I said that what really happened. And Kenny crushes it right away, as Kenny does. He's like, oh, what really happened? And the point is, you can't trust what the government agencies are saying. But this was unnecessary. So, like, I know when I think of Roswell, I don't think about the alien bodies that were seen laying around in some things. I think a lot of people don't even realize there was alien bodies seen at the site.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they addressed it. They voluntarily said it was a crash test dummies that we used for military testing of our secret missions. But the thing was, this happened in 1947. Those dummies, and if you look it up today, it still holds true. This not been the debunk has not been debunked that those dummies didn't exist until 1952. Why do you need to tell people that they were using a 1952 dummy in 1947? You're lying. But to Kenny's point and to my point, are they lying about the aliens to cover that up? Or are they lying to cover up the secret project that's probably really, really like completely useless and meaningless in modern days? Like it's got to be antiquated, whatever the project was.
Oh,
To what we have now.
That's a good way to think about it. Yeah.
But Kenny doesn't let me get there because what really happened, Chris? So Kenny does that a little bit, and I do think that's a little bit of a defense mechanism. When I don't think he does it on purpose. I don't think he does it to win. I don't think he realizes he's doing it, but he does tend to go there like that sometimes. I love Ken.
Oh, I do
Kenny is
too.
a
I
good
do
person.
too. He's great. And yeah, whenever I have a question that or something that happens that I'm questioning or maybe don't understand in depth about something, then yeah, I hit Kenny up. Hey, Kenny, what do you think of this? And then, he'll do a little research and get back to me if he doesn't know. And then, he'll give me his answer and so it's all good. Let's see. As for Roswell, look at the images of the crash site from the air. It was a huge impact crater that cannot be explained away with crash dummies or weather balloons.
That's interesting. Well, look, it's kind of to Kenny's hints he was putting out there with, what really happened. It's possible it wasn't aliens or Project Mogul. It might have been some other experimental craft that just went bad, and it's both secrets we don't want enemies having back in 1947 and also embarrassing.
Right.
Like SpaceX rockets crashing.
I mean, and truly, we really don't know what kind of technology they had developed back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could have been anything, but again, it could have been an actual crash, and that was their way of covering it up. Roger says, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. If you take the famous location and totally debunk it, then it ruins it, and if it's paid, then it will kill it. And that's what it is. Like, a lot of these places, are they legitimately haunted? Have people actually seen UFO sightings? Again, the big mystery, and everybody, when you pay, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get some kind of evidence or data, whatever you want to call it. It's not a guarantee.
Regarding hauntings, I believe the answer is a little bit of both. Places are haunted, nothing like what we're told they are.
Well, everything is exaggerated. You know that
Right.
for one.
Right. You can have a bunch of crazy things happen randomly, but they amount to like nothing significant that's life changing or altering.
But then again, there's places that, people have gone to where something's happened and it's totally freaked them out.
Well, then again, what happened to my mother was kind of life altering.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, see, everybody has their experience, so we don't know.
I'm very much in line with Florida's thinking that the spirits are resonating from the past. That's not intelligent communication in modern day.
I mean, some maybe, but I don't think all.
You think there's some intelligent?
I think there is intelligent,
spirits?
yes. Because that's what I was going to ask you. And the question is, what do you believe that we become when we leave the physical body? What do you think happens?
I have no
everybody
idea.
has their own opinion on what they think might happen.
I know what I hope happens, but that's a deep question because one, I'd hate to go through all this life, make all this effort to create a footprint, and then just leave dust,
Right.
and that's it. I do not believe organized religion, but I don't rule out a creator of some kind. There's too much evidence of more. I think there's more, but what that is hard to quantify. Like, I would hate to start a new life and reincarnate and not remember this life. I'd feel cheated. Well, I wouldn't know to feel cheated, but it seems like I'm being cheated. But I'd hate to live life I think most people would hate to live life for eternity in another place because eternity is going to get boring. I think we become more of a presence than a conscious being. I think. I mean, that's my best. I'm spitballing here. That's
Right. Well, see, that's why I believe that there is intelligent hauntings, because not just an echo of what we were, but I mean, I believe that our life force is the energy, the pure energy that is us, that what makes us alive. And then when our time is up, that we transform into that energy, and you could go anywhere and do anything you want.
Have there been studies about what happens to our memories, to our thoughts, to our consciousness when we pass? Like, is there still stuff stored in our brains when it stops working, or is it just an empty organ at that point? If that's true, if it is an empty organ, you can't pull data from. And I feel like we're almost to the place where the medical science can bring thoughts or data from the brain. I think we're pretty much there. Can we do that, or is it gone? If it's gone, then our consciousness is something beyond the physical.
Yes, I do believe I did see a oh God, I don't know if it was a documentary or whatever, but I did see it somewhere where they said that, yeah, even after saying a head is removed from the body, that brain is still functioning for a period of a slight amount of time, and the eyes do still see and register to the brain what their last moments were of life.
Horrifying.
So I do believe they do testing on that to figure out what happens after we leave, our bodies. I don't know what the exact, science of it is, or what the studies have come up with, but
I mean, they can tell if your brain was a dementia brain after you died. I don't know if that's different.
Yeah, because you'll see that the way that the damage that's left behind.
So that's physical.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because my mom has dementia, and what they call it is the slow death, and the brain is slowly dying. So that's why you forget how to function, who your people are, who you are, and it gets down to just basic instinct of, like with my mother, she doesn't know who any of us are. I have to take care of her totally. She cannot.
About that. That sounds horrible.
It is horrible. Dementia has stolen who my mother is. So she's kind of like, not even, I wouldn't even say a level of a 3-year-old, because when you tell a 3-year-old or somebody something like, don't do that, and that, they listen, where it doesn't register with somebody with dementia. They'll just keep doing what they're not supposed to, and you just got to keep after them. No, you can't touch that. It's hot. Or when she's eating, all she knows that she has to eat, but if you don't watch her, she will fill her mouth till she kind of looks like a chipmunk. And, then she's trying to chew and swallow that. So you've got to watch that kind of thing. And then again, she can't make the difference between what food is and what isn't food. So you've got to, like, paper towel or napkins. She can't have any of those because she thinks that it's edible. And how many times I've had to pull paper towel out
Wow.
of her mouth. So this is, and what she does during the day is the same thing every day. She only says like 5 things. It's a loop. It's constant because that's the part of the brain that's still working. It still remembers those things. And she walks back and forth from the kitchen to the front windows. And this is all day from 4:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night.
Mm.
And that's what she does. And you'll be like, well, you'll sit down, we have 5 minutes. And she looks at you and it's a blank stare. There is no spark in the eye. But you see that if she's looking at something, she's trying to she knows that it's something familiar, but she doesn't know what it is. Like I'll put something in front of her and she'll stare at it and you just see it. It's like a dead stare, but you see that the brain is still trying to work. And I know that's a pen, but, or I know what that thing is, but what is it? So that leaves scars like anything else. So yeah, after somebody passes, that's why they do the testing they do during the autopsies, is because then they can realize and see what happened, what trauma the body went through, what the organs went through. They could tell that even after death, even after years. That's why a lot of times when they exhume bodies, they can find out what's going on years after stuff have happened. Laura, I had dealt with that with my grandmother and currently with Aunt. I am so sorry for what you're going through. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's dementia stole my mother. And unfortunately, I have to look at it this way because if I don't, I would just be a ball of emotion. I have a wall up and I've already thought of it. My mother's already gone. Dementia killed my mother 5 years ago. So now I'm just taking care of a small infant. That's how you have to look at it, because she can't do anything for herself except for eat. And eventually that will stop as well. And then that's when we'll have to put her in an institution, because what it is that the brain she'll forget how to swallow. And then she'll have to be fed with a tube. And I don't know how to do that. So.
And there's no like treatment, huh?
She has medication, but it's crap. And I guess
pretty much got to the point where
she's past the part where it really does anything for it. The stuff that they have now apparently slows it down, but it's not a cure. And they really don't know what causes it. We've been through so many things. I've looked at so many websites. It could have been any amount of things that triggered it. And it all started with she was getting headaches every day. And she would, just blow it off. Oh, it's probably, allergies, sinuses, whatever. And then when she couldn't recognize what a hippopotamus was, that's when I brought her to the doctor. And they tested her.
Does she still have moments or anything? Or she
once in a while she'll come out with something you're like, holy shit.
So there's still some of her in there.
But it's very deep and it really shocks you. And it could be just as simple as just one word. We gave her, what did we give her? I think it was apple cider or something. And she was like, had this look on her face. I go, oh, is that tasty? Oh, yes, it's tasty. It was a whole sentence. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, oh my God. And it was the one and only time.
Oh.
Hi, Boo. Welcome. When we first noticed something was off with my mom, the only way I could describe it is at times she was confused about, it jumped, what she was confused about. Yeah. Well, see, and then that's when my father started checking into stuff. She was forgetting to pay the bills. She was forgetting to do certain things. And that is what, So like I said, yeah, she failed the test 100%. And because my mother, it's old age. It's old age. And the doctor goes, nope, you're in the beginning stages of dementia. And that hit me like a wrecking ball, because I was with her at the doctor's. And I said, oh God, how am I going to handle this? And thank God, he made me strong, because my sister can't handle it. And my mother's had it 6 years. and she's pretty
Mm,
much a vegetable that just
yeah.
walks around, and then we clean up and feed. That's pretty much it.
That was like my dad's last life with a brain tumor. It was like kind of like his last year of life was like it's the most twisted feeling. It's almost like when you put a pet down, it's like you just want it over, but you don't. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
lose them, but you also don't
You want
think
them to have some kind of
quality
relief.
of life. Yeah, and
Yeah,
relief.
and they don't have it right now. I mean, let's see. Who asked me? Who
Yeah.
asked?
Feel
Somebody asked.
better, Cree. Cree had to leave. She's not feeling well.
Oh, okay, sweetie. Feel better. Oh, it was Boo who asked about. Yes, we do play music for her, which she really enjoys. And then it's funny because then my father will dance with her. So
That's
she'll
nice.
tap around to it. So music does help. I've tried, like getting the dolls and all that. My mother just throws it to the side. What also gets her going is our dog. I have a German Shepherd, and I let the dog go downstairs, and I go get grandma, and the dog runs over, jumps in her lap, starts licking her face, and then sits and watches TV with her. So I mean, she interacts with the dog really well. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty. Life for people like that really stinks. It just does. And so that's why I always tell anybody, if you're going through this, you don't understand it, contact me. I'll help you the best I can. You pretty much are flying by the seat of your
You're going
pants.
through it. I mean,
Yeah,
actively.
it's not a good ride. And it's my father. God, hats off to him. I didn't think that he would do what he does for her, because my mother spoiled my father rotten. And his answer is she took care of me for over 50 years. Now it's my turn.
Love that. Yeah.
So yeah, I already know. I told my husband, I know if I go through that, forget it. Just put me in a home. Because my husband's not good with that at all. He
Yeah,
gets
nobody
very
wants to be
upset.
a burden. Yeah.
Just put me away. Let's see.
God.
Laura and anyone who has older parents, do not let the doctors give her blood thinners. It gives older people brains bleeds, which, oh, yeah, yeah. No, my mother's not on that. The one bonus is that my mother, because it happens in our family, after we have children, we all get large butts. And, she tried everything for years to lose weight. It didn't work. When the dementia started, my mother lost all the weight. My mother is as skinny as a twig now. She doesn't have to take blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication. All of that is gone. She doesn't need any of it. So that is weird how the brain works and fixed those problems. But then also, my mother didn't smoke for years. And then when the dementia started, she thought that she smoked again. And we kept telling her, no, you don't smoke. Oh, yes, I do. So my father let her smoke. What damage is it going to do? We're at this stage. Let her have it. And then she set the house on fire, and I had to take him away.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, my father yells upstairs because he couldn't see that well, and he says, "There's a fire somewhere. I can't find it." So I run down the stairs. My first reaction is, okay, where's the heaviest smoke? Which was the dining room. I ran in there, and what she did was she put a lit cigarette in a tissue box. She thought it was the ashtray, and
Oh
she ended
wow.
up burning a big spot on the dining room table. So I said, "That's it." And of course, I worked outside the home still. I said, "That's it. Give me them damn cigarettes." I said, "You're all done." And we had trouble with that for a while, but then it's over and done with. I said, because I was afraid to come home, and the house burned to the ground. No parents, no pets, no home. It's so yeah.
That is scary.
They had very scary. And when she was at the stage where she didn't tell him that there was smoke or fire. She was just wandering around the kitchen. And while the tissue box is on fire. And thank God my father had a bottle of water on the table. I just opened it up and threw it on there and put it out. And then
Lucky you guys caught it when you did.
Yeah. I was screaming, "Give me them effing cigarettes." I said, "That's it." I don't care how much you beg. But then she turned into a thief and steal my sister's cigarettes when my sister would come over. But then she'd forget that she had the cigarette and say, "Oh, anybody got a lighter?" We're like, "Where'd you get that from?"
Wow.
So sneaky. But yeah, let's see. Looking for from the paranormal perspective, child spirits are seen and heard or here in abandoned care homes. I believe dementia patients regress to child state, and this may be what their spirit becomes. That's
It's
a
quite a
good.
theory.
Yeah, it is. Because yeah, why would you hear child spirits in old folks' homes or care homes, or that's usually where the elderly are put.
But then we go into the debate on if the consciousness is sick or if the body is sick.
Yeah, see,
You know,
again,
the
just
organ is sick.
always just another rabbit hole to go down trying to figure it out. Some medications are rushed and have adverse reactions to some people. That is why I'm very wary of going to the doctor. Yeah, I go and then I always debate with the doctor what the medication's going to do because I'm allergic to pretty much all medication
Yeah.
lately.
You don't want the medication that helps you balance out from the medication that helps you balance out from the medication that helps you with your issue.
Right. And then the
There's a lot
side
of that.
effects are worse than what's wrong with you. So just say the hell
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Just like what I'm going through with the fibro, I've been through it all. Makes me sick. So I'm going to turn to herbal natural remedies and see what happens. What can it hurt? At least I know I'm not allergic to those things.
Right.
It's everyday, herbs and stuff that, we don't use. So Sage has got a question. Do you think a lot of the earth-bound spirits are maybe just confused what happened or where they are?
Stevie always brings up the others, which I love. That sounds like another scenario. I don't know if you know the others. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's a really good twist on the ghost stories.
Yeah, I think that, a lot of them are confused because maybe it happened so quickly.
Like they don't know
Or
they're dead. They think they're alive still.
right. That's what I'm thinking. They're confused. But then there are some, I believe, that just choose to stay here because maybe they have something that they want done, which you might call unfinished business. I do believe in that as well, especially if it was a violent end. And
They go and find a psychic on TV to help them.
yeah, I believe that one. But I think they're looking for justice because we also have another. It was an experience that happened to my sister. We have a place up here. It's called the Parkway, and it's all a wooded area. And there's a main road that's at the edge of it, and it drives through the city. And my sister and her friends hanging out. It's called the South Woods. We're up there hanging out, and all of a sudden, now again, here we go. The lady in white, a woman in white appeared before them, and of course they're teenagers, so of course they're scared, screaming and running through the woods to get out of there. And this apparition followed them all the way till it got to the road, and then it dissipated.
Sounds familiar.
So we're thinking it is the spirit of a young girl that was abducted by a local fruitcake because she was her life was taken up in the South Woods. He had strapped her to a tree and abused her physically, and then he ended her life.
Wow.
And a couple of local hunters, which actually one of them was a friend of mine, they discovered her. So we're thinking that she's still there looking for justice because they never caught who did it. They had their
Interesting.
ideas. Yeah, they had their ideas on who might have done it, but there wasn't enough evidence to put them away for the crime.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me. It's so funny people talk about that, right? And it's funny to hear people talk about things that are funny as a common sense joke, but you relate to and go, "Well, I don't know why it is funny, but I had the same experience, right?" So, like, why are all ghosts like from the 1800s wearing nightgowns? And I'm like, I don't know, but that's kind of what I saw, you know.
But when you get a lot of people, why do we see all ghosts in clothing? Why aren't they
That's
naked?
another thing. Yeah.
Well, and of course they just addressed this. A couple guys addressed this on another show that we watched the other day, because it's their memory. They're appearing as they see themselves. They appear as they want people to see them. And I
That's
don't see
interesting.
many of them that, well, hey, let me show up naked. They'll get no attention. But, I think they just appear as what they still believe that they are. And they're wearing clothes.
Yeah, I don't pretend to understand it, but like, it just is. It just is.
Let's see.
That makes sense.
All right. What makes me sad is when intelligent responses are gained during an investigation and there is nothing we can actually do after asking, how can we help you? I compare it to somebody applying for a loan. Well, you know what? To be honest, I do think there are some things that we can help them with. Some people are able to help with a spirit moving forward. If you're helping them with just the simplest thing of finding out how they died and exposing that, and or just letting them know that they're lost. I mean, the spirit, the medium thing, the psychic thing. I do believe
Yeah.
people do have. I do believe like have gifts. I do.
I don't believe they have control over them.
And some people might have the gift to be able to help people cross over. I can't say for 100% because I've never experienced that kind of situation, but I don't close the door on it either. Because there are moments where I consider myself empathic. I do pick up on people's emotions. I am open to the paranormal experience. I can't, if I come in a large room, I could feel what everybody's putting out, their energy. And sometimes it's overwhelming.
Well, I mean, you never hear, that's one thing you never hear on EVP is like, oh, wait, I'm dead?
Yeah.
Like, are you saying I was killed?
And that's yet to come. It's yet to come.
Now it's become like the most common thing on YouTube. Now I said that.
See, you let the cat out of the bag,
Chris. Didn't know.
And saying, "Oh shit, I'm dead." I know.
Never see that. Never.
Never say never. Never say never because you don't know.
Well, might see it in the future. I've never seen it before.
I mean,
have you?
I've had I know I've never had anything say, a recording saying, "Oh shit, I'm dead," but I've always had, where something has repeated my name. I've actually heard my name in my ear in my own home, and I was the only one in the house. That's happened twice in my own house.
That one, I believe.
The last recording that I did catch off of a cemetery was somebody, and it was a male sounding voice repeating my name twice. Then they said their name. And then after that, I heard somebody's watching you. And the freaky thing is it sounded like they were underwater. And when I heard the name of the man, I looked at the stone that was adjacent to where I was standing, and the name of that person was on that stone.
You have that on a recording of EVP, or
as an EVP? It was an EVP.
You have the EVP of it. You still have it?
Yes, I do.
I want to hear it. Produce it.
So I'll have to find it. No, yeah. Actually,
here's the thing. I never understood.
One of my shorts.
Why would it's on one of your shorts?
It's one of my shorts. Is the one with somebody's watching you. You'll hear that one.
Here's the thing: is I don't understand why anyone would find a spirit in a graveyard of all places. I think that's one of the last places you'd find a ghost because they've already been dead and embalmed for how long? Unless they died in the casket, prematurely buried. Why would there be a spirit in a graveyard?
Well, I look at it this way, but where I go, it's really old stuff. 1700s, 1800s.
Is there a post-embalming era?
Excuse me. Yeah, they didn't embalm until way after.
Okay.
I'm learning.
God,
I can't remember. I don't know if it was in the 50s or the 60s. Where it made it state mandated that they had to be embalmed. Because
make sure they're dead before you bury them.
Well, but that was the problem. When they would exhume certain people for a certain reason, they would find either they were flipped over or their hands would be like this, pushed up against the lid fingernails gone because and it's dig marks because they were trying to claw their way out.
Well, they used to have a bell that went down to the casket
And
just in
that was the
case.
old days. Yeah, the dead bell.
Yeah.
So I believe that when you're in the cemetery where it's 1800s, the 1700s, there's no family left. Most of these places are abandoned.
Yeah.
So I always go in when I start any kind of a session. I'll sit there and say, I'm here to show respect to you, to visit you that have been forgotten. And if you have anything that you would like to say to me, and then I would say, I have this device. It will pick up your sound. You can repeat my name, tell me your name, or say whatever you want. I'm here to listen. And that's what I do. I recognize all of the military guys, thank them for their service. It's always very respectful. And I think that's why I got what I got, because nobody's there. The stones are usually, half of them are broken or filthy and overgrown. And so, yeah, it really is amazing to
Just
actually
curious.
to pick up something.
What do you use for your EVPs?
I'm telling you, it is just a basic. I don't even have it next to me. It's over in my bag. A basic digital recorder that I bought on Amazon for $30, and this picks up stuff. Awesome! It's just an awesome little gadget. The last cemetery I was at, old cemetery, and I just got rid of all of what I picked up on the recorder because it was picking up girls playing in their yard like half a mile up the road. You could hear them giggling and laughing and stuff, and you could hear the roosters and everything. I go, well, I can't use that. It's contaminated. And this was just with this little digital.
I don't want to turn
recorder.
into Kenny Biddle here, but that would make me think that it's less reliable, but that picks up too much, maybe.
No, I think it's because it's that sensitive. It's going to pick up, where I go, it's usually very quiet and nobody's around. So, because that's why it's traffic or this or that. No, I always check for all of that. I do. I pick the shit apart before I even consider thinking that it's something. And then if I'm really in doubt, I send it out. So I send it I send it to Kenny. I'll send when it usually has to do with electronics and recordings, I send it to Friday, James Friday House, and he'll pick it apart. I've sent stuff to another Steve from Nocturnal Frequency, because these are guys who do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll come back to me and they say, yeah, it's a Class C, but you still can make out what it's saying.
Huh.
If you got a good pair of headphones, you're going to hear it.
Interesting.
So it's nothing, the ring bells and say, and whistles about, but it is what it is. And then everybody makes up their own decision, because I'm not going to come out and say, oh, yes, that's what it was. Like the last time when I was in the cemetery and I did put it up, a short video, I was touched on the hand. And it felt like somebody had taken their finger and then just ran it down this part of my thumb. And I was holding the recorder in this hand, and I was looking at the hand at the time it happened. So you can't say, oh, it was a bug. And there was no wind that day. And I proved it by pointing the camera at the flag, and it was just draped down by the pole. No wind. Not my hair. My hair gets everywhere. And so that's why I was looking at the hand. There was nothing there, but I felt the touch, and it was very light, but it was there. And then the still photograph that I took in front of me was a headstone, and there is a shape of an orb type thing on the stone. Whether it was a very light white.
Okay.
So because I even had somebody ask me, well, there was a bug that flew by at the same time that you had mentioned that. Yes, but I was looking at my hand, so the bug didn't land on my hand.
Because they would have been the lens of the camera, right?
If I was, wasn't looking at it, I would have said, spider, whatever, and blow it off. But I was looking at my hand when it happened. So there you go. Make up what you will of that.
I'm willing to not debunk everything, because I know I've had weird things happen. In fact, I've been debating this whole time if I should make this major announcement that I have. I have a major announcement, but I'm not sure if I should sell it. Oh, crap. I'll just say it.
Go ahead. Let it out.
After a year of discussing things, warrants, and conjuring with Stevie and other folks, I believe I have manifested conjuring spirits in my home, and I now own the most haunted home in all of known reality.
Aha.
So I'm not ready to start selling tickets or anything. I still live here like
Shit.
normally, and I can't really do a live investigation because people sleep here at night. So I'd have to do like a pre-recorded. There will be cuts. They won't be like cuts for like you see a doorknob jiggle when you open it and there's nothing there. Cut, but like just because it's going to be edited and pre-recorded, I can't do the live. But I'm thinking about doing a in-home investigation of my own home to show that there are spirits here.
Okay.
No strings, no
Word of
math,
warning. Word of
no
warning.
lie.
I always tell everybody, don't investigate where you live.
Hmm.
But that's up to you, because you might open up something you don't want.
I do a fun podcast. Come on.
But
Just go.
hey, if you are game, do it. Because I have things that happen in my home and I don't investigate it. I know that whatever is here, but we coexist peacefully, and that's the way I want to keep it. Let's see. They
If
may
somebody
not be
wants to
drawn-
offer me, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It says they might not be all drawn to the cemetery, but to
Yeah.
Laura, yeah. Well, yeah. My first experience was when I was
That's
7 years
actually
old.
not too far fetched. Yeah.
7 years
7?
old was my very first experience, and it was in a castle. I know you guys have heard the story, so it's
So,
pretty
so
cool.
if y'all want to offer me $3 million for my home, I may consider it. But otherwise, I'm just going to slow walk this a little bit until I understand what's going on. But yeah, this is the new Conjuring house, my home.
Now you actually are believing that you had brought something from the outside into your home,
Maybe who's
which
to
is
say?
possible.
But I believe no. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real.
I hope so.
We're the first owners of this home. So there was no one else who lived here before us. We were told by the sellers. The house was built for someone else. Didn't make the closing. So we took over the house, and nothing's really happened over the years. I will say when my wife's cat, when the cat Oreo passed, a couple days, the weeks following, we both simultaneously heard a cat in the room. Like now we heard cats because we have cats, but
Right.
we heard a cat meowing in the room, and we were looking like, where did that come from? That sounds like Oreo, which is really weird. But it was a little thing. In the past year, since doing the podcast with Stevie and doing paranormal conversations,
Excuse me. Yep.
my daughter came to me and told me that in the laundry room she heard a breath and felt air against the back of her neck. I told the story before that we didn't feel air, but I was speaking for myself. Apparently, I shouldn't speak for her because she told me later she did feel breath on her neck.
Okay.
Just to clarify that, so that did happen. She heard
Oh.
right behind her, like not in the walls, not from the dryer and washer, not from the unit,
Right.
but like
Right.
right behind her ears. Is like you can tell she thought I was messing with her, and I wasn't even in the room.
Right. So whatever
Um,
it was deliberately directed to her.
the back of her neck, right?
Yeah.
So she then said a couple days later, I didn't realize this until just recently, but it happened in her room also, in her
Uh-huh.
bedroom. One night I went to the laundry room to switch the laundry over, and the washing machine had wet laundry in it. The door was open. My wife had been asleep for hours. My daughter has been studying in her room. No one's been near the washing machine. I thought maybe I just opened it and forgot to check it. But why would I? But no one ever checks wet laundry. Like either it's running or it's not.
Right. Right. Right.
So I have no idea what was open. So I just continued to process and never thought about it again. We have a house where the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen's wide open, all connected, right? So you can see the kitchen from the living room. And I'm standing in the kitchen, and I don't feel it, but I hear the breath behind my neck. And I forgot my daughter told me about it. And I'm looking around like, what the hell was that? My daughter sees me looking around, and she's like, did it just happen to you too?
Uh-huh.
She could tell it happened. I was like, yeah, I got it. Some blow. Is that what happened to you? Yeah, it blew behind my neck. Couple nights later, she came running into the man cave while I was doing man cave things. I was nowhere near the laundry room. She was doing laundry that night. My wife was asleep for hours, and she comes and goes, "Did you open the washer for some reason?" Like, no, but that happened to me weeks ago. So some weird shit's going on. We don't know why or how, but it doesn't make sense. I would understand if the washing machine had a defense mechanism, if maybe electricity was getting overheated or something, or short, that pops the door open, but there's no popper. It's just a hinge and a door.
Right.
So So I believe something might be happening. I'm not convinced of it, but it is unexplainable weird things.
Right.
But it's fun to say I have the new Conjuring house. I just say that
So
because
there
I
you
want someone to
go.
buy. I want someone to buy my house for $3 million. Why
Uh,
wouldn't I?
did
It
you
works.
do any research on the property, the ground itself?
Well, I know it was woods. I remember. I remember when it was woods because I've lived in this area for a long time, and yeah, it was just dense woods, and they cleared a lot of it out for new homes. That's not to say that something didn't happen to somebody in the woods or something, but
Right.
like,
That's
um,
where I'm going with it. Yep.
no idea. I have not done that deep because I don't know. I don't know what it is. So wet laundry
Well,
is pretty scary,
yeah, it
Sage. You're
is.
right.
Especially if it's left too long. It's
But then it gets so sometimes you still smell the laundry detergent, so you think, okay, it's been a while, but I could probably still get away with it. And then after it's dried, you smell that mildew smell.
yeah.
Like, oh, gotta put it back in the wash
Back it.
again.
Yeah, that's
Wastewater, yeah.
scary. Oh, I hate that.
Doing man cave things. That's right,
Yeah.
Candy. That was not. By the way, that was not code for anything gross. like,
Man cave things. We don't know what you guys are doing. Oh yes.
it was. I may have been chatting in Facebook. I might have been watching TV. I might have been playing games on Xbox. I might have been editing a
Just
video.
sitting in his shorts, having a beer. Who knows?
But nothing. No, nothing gross happens in the man cave.
Oh,
No, it depends on your definition of gross, I guess. But no,
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
gross happens in the man cave.
yeah. It's pretty boring. But yeah, if you're gonna do that, excellent. You know what? Just set up a. You don't even need to do a complete investigation. Just set up cameras and recorder and leave it running. And
Oh, I
see.
have plans. I have plans for this.
So he's got it all hooked up and
Let,
ready to
let,
roll.
let me cook, Laura. I got this. I got this.
All right, all right.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later why I said that.
So yeah, that's here we've had stuff here since the day we bought this house. And,
Candy's awesome. The house you're in now?
yeah,
Yeah.
I lived here over 20 years, and we've had stuff happen all the time. And I've had people stay here, and what the hell's going on in your attic at 3:00 in the morning? And I go, oh, nothing, just ignore it.
Yeah.
The scary, and actually, I do have a recording from the attic in the early
Oh.
days, and I caught it on a cassette recorder. I got to find the damn tape because my friend Bill is going to help me convert it from the tape to digital so I could put it online. It's yeah, when we were here, and actually it was for the hell of it, I go, let me go up in the attic and I'll turn the recorder on and see what happens. And I didn't even say anything, but you could hear my husband and my son talking in the kitchen. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear, get out.
Seriously?
And I was, yes.
Well,
and I was like, oh,
I don't believe
shit.
you. I don't believe you. That's straight.
No,
from
I'm
the
telling you,
freaking
I can't.
Amityville horror. Come on.
I cannot. I
Get
gotta
out.
find the tape. I've got it here somewhere because it's the only tape I saved from those days. And I never told my husband because my husband will pack up and move. But and the other thing was, it was weird. One time we had it was late in the evening, and we're all sitting in the living room, and I hear something roll across the floor in the attic. And it sounded heavy. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell is that? There's nothing up there that would roll across the floor. So the next day I went up in
So
the
you have
attic.
like a walkable attic, like it's
Yeah, we walk right up. It's a whole
Yeah.
full. You can make a whole apartment up there.
Awesome. Go ahead.
And yeah, and it's filled with crap. That's so it's I go up there and I'm thinking, what the hell would be rolling? And then I seen all the way to the far end, the front of the house of the attic was a bowling ball that we had that was on the end where I was at one point. So something moved and pushed the bowling ball, and it rolled the whole length of the attic. Because it's the only thing I had up there that was round and would make that sound. So I don't know. I mean, we didn't have squirrels or birds or, I don't have things living in my attic. So that was kind of freaky. And that was the only time that happened. But it's mostly, and then like I said, I've heard the voice say my name in my ear a couple of times living here. And then
a couple times.
Yeah. And it's actually, each time it was in the back hallway. I would hear it right like somebody was right up here, and I said, "Hey, Laura," and I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Nobody, who the hell's here?"
You have
And
demons in your house.
actually, no, I was told by a psychic that
Told what?
it was a young man,
Okay.
and I'm like, "Oh, okay." But
I
yeah,
think psychics sometimes, if they're polite psychics, if they're not just grifters, if they're just good people as well as grifters, which is
right.
kind of a conflict of interest, but sometimes they tell you what you need to hear.
I just told her, "Oh, okay," because I never told her about what was going on in the house. You see, because I don't,
She
I want
volunteered that herself. Oh,
she just pulled that out of the air. She goes, "Oh, do you know about the young man that's living in your house?"
hmm.
And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's my son." She goes, "No." She goes, the guy in the attic." I'm like, "Really? Okay." That's as far as I didn't go any further with it. I go, "Okay." And then like when I have guests sleep over, you know, a lot of times they'll sleep on our couch in the front room, and they'll hear it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or so. They hear it's heavy footsteps, like somebody wearing work boots, walking around in the attic.
That's pretty heavy.
And then I get in the morning, who the hell? Why was your husband or your son up in the attic? I'm like, they no, they wasn't them. Don't worry about it. And then there's been
Don't
a
worry
couple of
about it.
times since we've had the dog where she's been in the living room and I'm in the kitchen. She starts freaking out and barking and runs back into the kitchen and stands in the doorway of the kitchen, barking into the living room and
Yeah,
won't
I
go
don't know
back
what that
and won't go
is.
back in there.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people's pets. I think. I know my old dog back at the old house used to do that in a specific corner,
Yeah.
just
And
in the
then
corner.
when my niece told me this actually years after, she said when she was smaller, because my niece and my sister lived downstairs, when she was little, she said she used to see a dark man standing in the doorway of the kitchen.
Oh, cool.
I'm like,
In that
oh,
same house there.
yes, same house, downstairs,
Oh,
dark man standing in the doorway. So pretty much it was a shadow figure of some sort, but she knew that it was a man. And she was little. I'm like, oh, okay. Why didn't you ever say anything? She goes, I don't know. I just didn't think nothing of it.
yeah. Kids are amazing that way. Like my daughter doesn't remember anything, but she used to like wake up at the middle of the night staring at the ceiling. She had the power of speech. She could talk, but she wouldn't tell us what she saw. She would just point and scream.
Yeah, it's
In the
scary.
corner of the room, I have no idea what she's
Freaking
pointing at.
scary. Hi,
I
Sky.
asked
How
her
are you?
now, and I wish she could remember. This guy's been here a while.
Yeah, I just got a chance to shut my
You're
mouth and
behind a
say
little bit.
hello. And actually, the latest thing that happened was before my son and his girlfriend moved out. And I'm in the room that used to be his bedroom. It's now my studio. His girlfriend told me, she says that, yeah, one night she was in bed watching television and she said she felt somebody sit on the end of the bed.
That's
And
something
it
I've heard a bunch of. Yeah.
totally freaked her out. And I just started laughing. I said, oh, you're fine. It's all right. You're fine. So we never had anything malicious. It was just whatever it is letting us know it's here. And I did go up at one point in the attic and I said, thank you for letting us stay in your home. We'll take good care of it. You know, just stuff like that. And like I said, it's been pleasant. So I just leave it as is.
I'll tell you something that truly happened at my old house that was very interesting. I have a bunch of anecdotes about what might be haunted or not, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm just going to talk about this one event. I decided to call a local paranormal investigation team. Well, like local was Tampa. And I was like, this is what's been happening. And nothing was life changing. Just my daughter was being terrorized at night and other weird things.
Right.
And I said, should we have this investigated? Now, you would think an investigator would want to come investigate, get evidence, use it for some kind of content or make money. He said, you're fine. He said, when no one's around, because I know it's going to be embarrassing, talk to the house, tell it they're welcome to stay here as long as they want. They're not here to hurt. You're not here to cause them any trouble, but leave my daughter alone. And when I did do that, things stopped happening.
There
It
you
was
go.
weird.
Well, you
I
took
don't know
control of
I
the
don't know if it was
situation.
just the timing or if it actually was good advice, but didn't cost me anything. There
Right.
was no
Well, normally
grift.
that's
There
what they
was
do. They
no
tell you you have to claim your space.
There's no
And
fear. There was no feeding the fear or feeding concerns. It was
right.
just real straight. That's what it needs to be. Um, and I
That's
don't
what,
think
yeah,
there's
you have to just, yeah, it's your space and you're gonna live there. They're welcome to stay as long as they don't cause any problems. But Dragon, I did see that. Yeah, I hit you up in Discord, so you could tell me your Lady in White story. Will do, sir. If I can manage it. I suck at Discord, so I'll do my best.
I'm not a fan of Discord either, but
I
it's just because I feel like I would be living another parallel life on Discord that I don't have time for.
yeah. Well, I was telling you, if I got to go through Discord, send me the message, and then I can click on it and I can read it. Because me finding people, I don't know, and I don't really have the extra time to dig into how it works. I know I should, but like I said, it's just another thing to add to the pile. Sage says one night I had both my dog and my cat started staring at the same corner of the living room. Made me wonder if there was something there, a mouse, a ghost. It was odd. The animals pick up on stuff. They really do.
Or rats.
Yeah, you never know. You never
Never
know.
know.
My dog would stare at my partner's empty chair like someone was there. I used the SLS camera, and the only spot in the room where the figure appeared was her chair.
Oh,
Oh, hello, Big Stew. I love saying that. That is interesting because the SLS I found to be hilarious, and that's all I do is laugh because it picks up nothing for me. But if that's the only thing that registered was a figure in the chair, that's interesting.
SOS. That's a type of camera, right?
Well, yeah, it was designed and created for video gaming.
It's the Xbox camera.
It's pretty much. And of course
Oh
they have
no, I
other
don't buy
versions
into
of that stuff
any of
now.
that. Oh my
So
god.
yeah,
I'm
what it does
sorry.
is it maps
No
out.
offense, Lee, and I hope your
Right.
partner was there. That's sweet, but like,
Right. It
it
maps
tends to
out
put
the
people in
human form.
chairs.
Yeah.
It puts people in chairs. I've seen that firsthand. But at that prison, the Gilchrist prison,
Right.
I saw the two people standing on the stairs with the SOS camera, and I didn't know what was going on, but they were still on the stairs, and I kind of wanted to get by. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And like, "Shh, why?" And you look at the camera, and it's a stick figure, the height of the ground to the second story roof. This giant creature,
Right,
stick
right.
figure, and I'm like, first of all, there's nothing there. Second of all, why would sound make a difference on if it stays or flees? It's a freaking apparently a monster. If
Well,
it's
I mean,
real,
it was designed to map out and make a human, shape. That was the design for it. But, and then I tested it out. It wouldn't map out my cat. Okay, I don't know why, but it didn't. But then I have a cookie jar that I keep cat food in. It's shaped like a cat. It mapped out on that. Made the stick figure. My husband had a robe hanging on the back of the bathroom door. It mapped out that there was something there. And I've taken
Yeah.
it to cemeteries, and every tombstone had, the stick figure
body.
doing the boogie woogie. So, I mean, I don't tell people don't use it. Just it's another, thing to play around with. But I just don't give it much confidence, to be honest. Because
There's lots of reason not to, and I'm
yeah.
sorry, Leanne. I'm not trying to crush Leanne here, but
No, I get it. And yeah, she gets it too. I think the spirits have tried to scare me off and gave off when I didn't work. Oh, and gave up. I'm sorry. Yep, she says she had a typo. Yeah, gave up when it didn't work. Here we go. Update, guys, on the explosion from this morning. The explosion was a car hitting one of those electrical boxes, and I'm lucky our house is run on solar power, or our batteries are full last night. The rest of the area had no power until midday here. Wow.
well, that's what the government wants you to think, Pinky.
Wow. Well, yeah, she was in the live this morning, and she says it sounds like somebody's house blew up. I'm thinking, what? Gee, you better let us know what the hell happened. So yeah, they had
That's crazy.
They had it's a power station on a pole, so it's
Took
yeah,
out
they must
several blocks. It sounds like.
holy
Wow.
crap. Well, it must have been the main power supply for that section, and it blew all the power out. I've seen
The
that.
man in the car got minor injuries. Really?
That's nasty, nasty. What did I missed it? What'd she say? It's jumping so fast. I'm trying.
She
The man
said
in
the
the
man in the
car,
car got
minor
minor injuries.
injuries. He's lucky, because usually people that hit that when it comes down on them, they get electrocuted. So he's lucky. I don't buy
Lan gets what's going on. Okay.
the Dream
It's on the stage,
Crushers.
right?
Yeah, that's all
This
right,
is a good
Leanne.
one by Sage. Yeah.
You do your thing, Leanne. That's all right. I don't buy the SLS camera. They are designed to try and map figures out. Yeah, out of things. Exactly. I also don't buy apps, as they can be programmed to listen to what you say. And
Apps are
words are
silly.
regurgitated. Yeah. Yes. And
Apps are another way for content creators to ensure responses and have moments that they can go, you know.
Okay, I was listening to all of your cool paranormal experiences. Throw one at us, Candy, or Steph. Let's see, Ross side chat. I'm running on empty now. I need to turn in. Oh, okay, Roger. Thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Good seeing you, Roger.
We appreciate it big time. So, sir, what do you have planned for the future of Fear the Living podcast?
I want to grow it. it's a
He
slow
wants
grower.
to grow it.
It's a slow grower, but it's growing faster than any of my previous efforts on YouTube. So I think I can pretty much thank Stevie and Seg and other great people for the help they've given on that. Trying to make original content. I've introduced some game show type things. So we do Cryptid Deceit, which is like Box of Lies, if you ever seen it on Jimmy Fallon. Just started that one. That's a crazy image, and you can either lie about it or describe it, and then the person has to guess if you're describing the truth. It's kind of funny, and there's a reveal. We do fake spiel, real deal, where there's 3 headlines, brief description of the article.
Yep,
One of
I
them
played
is
that.
fake. You played along with that, yes, you have. So we have fun with that, and yes, I want to grow it. I do one day want to get everybody together. I want to have an all-star group for a Hollywood Squares or Scares, where it's like Hollywood Squares, but
Right. Yeah, that'd be
debunkers
fun.
and content creators, and have like maybe some viewers compete for like I don't know, a Seg shirt or a Beardo shirt or a Fear the Living shirt or Tooth or Demon shirt, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think we have enough people we can get together if we can schedule it to actually do one of those, and I would really enjoy running that kind of thing. That'd be
Very
fun. All the questions would be like spiritual or ghostly or paranormally or horror themed, and test people's knowledge.
There you go. That sounds fantastic.
But
Could you
yeah,
let everybody know where to find you? And if Candy could you put in the link for his channel? I would appreciate it.
I can be found at the link that Candy's about to put in the chat. I am on Facebook, but I try not to publicize it, although everybody finds me because like there are people who probably want to know where I live. But I'm on Twitter and all the socials as Miami Sixth Man. I'm on Instagram as Miami Sixth Man. That's spelled out sixth, not six TH, but SIXTH. Miami Sixth Man. I really want to, with everything I've done, I want Fear the Living to make a difference. I want people to leave the show not thinking I'm stressed, not thinking, God, I'm angry. I want people to leave laughing and smiling, and I'm hoping that we've been accomplishing that, and we can accomplish it even better moving forward. I just want it to be a place people can go and know they're going to enjoy themselves and not be bogged down by something terrible.
Right. So no, yeah, you seem to be doing that because every time I come in the show, you guys are laughing. So
I want that. I want, like, I think we get a lot of it on your show, no matter who you're talking to, which I like about your show is very conversational. This format can be very boring if not done right. But you keep it interesting. You're a natural conversationist, so
thank you very much. Because this last thing I want to know is that I'm boring.
But you see a lot of podcasts where it's 2 hosts or 3 hosts or 4 hosts. You have all these hosts, and it's not that they're talking over each other. They're not saying anything. Or not saying anything of value. And it's just like, well, I like you guys, but I'm going to turn it off now because you're not saying anything. I don't
Yeah,
like
there's a
downtime,
few.
that really long delay.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hate dead air. I can't stand it when there's dead air. So, if somebody's not saying something and I just jump right in, like when I co-host with Susan and there's like this long pause, I jump right in because nobody just wants to sit there and stare at a few people on the screen. That's why we're here. And I always, encourage my people in the chat, please send in the questions. I want you to interact with the guest. And I want it to be like we're all just sitting around, having coffee or some drinks, and it's a big social gathering so that we get to know each other on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, I love
Also,
it.
finding out what people are doing and how we can learn and also teach at the same time. That was the whole point of me doing this is, sharing what I know and then me learning from others out there in the field. Even though it's been over, 20 years, it's still, we don't know everything.
Sure, we barely know anything.
We barely have even touched, any of it. So new techniques, new ways of doing it. Like APRF.
Well, the old way was to look up what Ed Warren said it was, right? So,
Yeah, no, stay away from that. But new ways, new techniques, new like with Man versus Ghost, Jared. They're all starting to do things differently, and so that's what's catching my eye. That's what's catching everybody else's eye. There, let's see.
Yeah.
What'd she say? Lori, your mug is staring at me. I think it's planning something. It is.
It does have a devious look to it. I want to say, someone said it earlier. I don't remember if it was Sage Rat or someone else, but they said they said that if long as that's what they like Dawson, I think, because Dawson's fun. Like he can find nothing and you enjoy his channel, and that's what it needs to be.
Right.
Just make it fun. It just
Right.
You don't have to find anything. If you find something, that's a bonus. That's the whole reason.
Exactly.
You get to the whole goal, then what's next? You're done.
Exactly.
You did it. Let's have fun with it.
Oh, thank you, Pinky. Yes, that's what I want everybody included. Same thing like and I always tell everybody, it's just with the magazine. I created that because I wanted it to be a community thing. I want everybody included. So that's why I always tell you, please send stuff in. Even if you think it's just the dumbest thing, a stick figure, on a piece of paper. Hey, so-and-so drew this. It's fabulous. Put it in the magazine. Share it, share who you are. I think it just makes us stronger and a better community for it. Today
is that a good video? I've been looking at that video, but I haven't clicked on it yet.
They did body language read on Ed and Lorraine. Yes, body language is very important. And yeah, you study it, you watch it, and then you'll see if they're full of shit. That's the bottom line. I did that for somebody else. I watched a video, and I totally zoned in on the person's body language. And I think this person is full of shit. They are setting up the stage for the big ta-da. And
well, what I don't understand, I think this is where the car salesman analogy comes from, is a lot of times when someone's full of shit, they sound like they're full of shit. But for some reason, for a certain population of people, it works.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not hear it in the tone? Clearly they're full of shit.
Yeah. Well, that's why I look at it this way. A lot of them know that these people are full of shit. They don't care. It's the entertainment they're getting off of it. And yeah. I get it. That's fine. But then when you get the ones, the ones that are diehard, oh no, don't you dare. They're telling me the truth. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. No. But you're going to believe what you want to believe. And hey, that's cool with me.
I said this other places, and I'll say it now. When I listened to Stevie talk about the Warrens, and I realized the Warrens weren't where it's at, I was actually kind of mad. I was like, I believe in these people.
Because you were
They're just grifting?
Yep.
Assholes.
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay. I like what these debunkers are doing then, because I see it now.
Yeah.
It might have angered me in 1979, but now I'm like,
Okay. No, they're very important to the community. I call them the paranormal police because they have an eye. They're catching what is false and they're putting it out there. and it's saving people a lot of money and time. I'll tell you that, because they were handing
Yeah.
money hand over fist to these groups because they believed in what they were doing. They were supporting their channels, and it was wonderful. You support who you like, but then you find out that they're lying to you and they're just taking your money. I'd be really upset.
Yeah, it's just even if they don't take my money,
It's just, well,
even if they don't take my money,
yeah.
just
Well,
just that they had me believing.
yeah, they're breaking a trust. You build a
Like
trust with your
even I had
community.
already been amongst the debunkers and believing in the bunkers credos and following and talking to Stevie when I saw Cody and Satori and thought, my God, maybe someday I can talk to my dad. And then I feel so silly thinking that.
Yep.
I feel so silly thinking that. What a fool I am.
Well, because we always hold on to that one, that
It's that
one,
want, that
that
desire.
one.
We need to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what they play on. And a lot of psychics and mediums, same thing. They're playing on the emotional need to find out if our loved ones are okay and if they have passed through or what happened to them. It's and again, and then with the mystery, as like with Florio, I love Florio. She does her
She's great.
research.
Yeah.
She is great. She puts on a great show. She's letting people know what's going on in that world because she grew up in it. But then there's also a part of me thinking, it's kind of sad because she's destroying the magic. Even though we're growing
I
up, we still like the magic. And it's
I know that magicians aren't really magic, but I can still enjoy a good trick I can't figure out.
right.
But I don't think it's the same thing. But a
Uh,
magician's an entertainer.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
psychic or a medium's trying to tell you they're going to help you communicate with somebody who's passed over. That's a whole nother animal to me.
Right. Well, I really don't believe most of it anyway. But
Right.
hold on just a quick second, guys.
Sage knows no bounds.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I still feel in that, that the magician isn't real and it's a trick, but same thing with I'm just saying, when you dig deep and these are things that people might have believed years and years ago, and you were just in all, it's still just that magic. So I feel a little bad in one respect, but then it's good to know that, yeah, these people do this, they're good at it, and it's just
Well,
to steal your money.
Well, with all the grifting going on and all the lying and the fake stuff, it's got me kind of on like a swivel where I'm going back and forth between like I can't believe anything and I
Right,
know
right.
some things can be real because I've experienced them, and how do I freaking know anymore
Right.
because the field has been muddied
Yeah.
so much you can't tell what's what, and thus you have a debunker helping you point out where there is a cut or a glint or a mask or
Which
a
is
special effect.
amazing. It really
Yeah.
is amazing how they picked that out.
It's pretty good. Like it's getting to the point to where I've seen enough people talk about it, I can almost notice it most times.
Well, because now you know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, you're just staring at the screen, just paying attention to what they're saying, and you're not looking in the background.
I watch videos now from the couch when that's a cut. That was a cut right there. Where's the other side of that? How come they didn't look to the right when he walked in the room? I'm
Right.
doing all that now,
Yeah.
constantly.
Actually, I have a friend. Most of the people in here know him. He's Bill. He's not in the paranormal field, but he's helped out with some stuff. And
Is that the car
carburetors and
YouTube guy?
coffee, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll watch
Is it
movies,
Jeff,
and
right?
that's what he
Jeff?
does. When we are staring at the characters and following the story, he's looking in the background. And he says he's always done it. Oh, look at that. You can see that guy or this or that, or this is wrong or that. So when I told him, I said, you'd be a great debunker because you're looking at the
Oh,
whole picture, not just the investigator talking to you, but you're looking at everything in the background. And that's how
he'll
you catch
pick out when there's inconsistencies and
Yeah.
stuff. Won't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
That shirt wasn't buttoned to the top before.
Yeah, exactly.
That happened in the latest Marvel, well, not the latest, but one of the latest Marvel movies, the Thunderbolts. We were just watching it the other day, and Bucky's making himself breakfast. He's got a metal arm on his left side, and he's got his right arm holding the phone, and he picks up the phone, And when the cuts, he's pulling his metal arm out of the washer, out of the dishwasher, and putting it on. It's like, so
Jeez.
it's fun when you see those things. But yeah, I think he belongs in the paranormal. He just doesn't know it yet.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up what everybody says here. My family, it's like he picked up on our story, and it was the same information that we were discussing while in line. So they do listen in. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Hi, just Suzanne. How are you?
Who's listening in?
When she says they went to go see a psychic. Here, I'll put it up on screen. Her family went to go see a psychic, and he picked up on their story. And it was the same information that we were discussing while in line. So they do listen in.
Oh,
They have
like
people.
they have people who
Yeah, they
run
have.
down the hall. Yeah,
I don't know if they call them spotters or what the hell they call them, but yeah, they got people that are there
probably
listening.
blend into line with other people and probably leave the line and go to the back. And yeah.
But welcome, Susanna.
Lawyer
Great to
actually
hear.
described that process once.
Yes, she
At least
did.
once.
Most want to believe that there's a good afterlife, especially when they lose loved ones, but there's too many people that will prey on their vulnerability. That's what they do. They go right.
100%.
They go for the juggler, and they don't care. I could have done the exact thing. Because I play around with the tarot cards. I always tell everybody it's entertainment only. Don't run your life off the cards or what the reading is. It's all for entertainment. But when I worked in a place where it was a large Hispanic employee-based place, and once they found out, they were ready to throw them all kinds of money at me. Oh, you must tell me this. I go, oh God, no. If it was anybody else, they would have ran with it and made a fortune. But I can't do that to people. But these people do. You can't have a conscience if you're going to do that. Laura has a ghost fan moving her mobile behind her. Ooh, actually, that's not a mobile. It's a projection, guys.
I was about to say it looks like a projection.
It's a
Yeah, that looks cool.
Ah.
That's very cool.
And I could change it too. It's pretty cool. I got it silver for Halloween.
Oh, like you could put that against your house if you wanted to, right?
Yeah. It gets huge. I've got all different
indoor,
ones.
outdoor. That's cool.
Indoor, outdoor. So I figured it'd be cool having it in the background.
Let's have a ghost floating around the whole time. That's great.
Behind there.
There you go.
The wristwatch is on the night medieval Europe. Okay, that must have something to do with the story. Blanket, not mobile. Oh yeah. Oh, my tapestry. Yeah, the tree of life. I have a tree of life, girl. So let's see. Not fair. My back hurts from sprawling in a bad position for hours. Stop doing that, Sky. Oh my God. Okay, guys, it's been a great. We've had my husband's bitching at me. I got stuff to do, so we're gonna have to.
Chores don't stop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, life doesn't stop. When the show is on. But Chris, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
Oh, you are very welcome anytime. I thought it was a great time. Great questions from everybody. And everybody, please, if you don't know anything about him, go check out Chris at Fear the Living Podcast. You'll find him on YouTube. Join in and watch his programs. Subscribe. Do all the fun YouTube stuff. Same for this. Hit that like, subscribe, share. Check out the merch. I got some new merch in the shop. I hope you guys will like it. Until next time, actually, Morning Brew is Friday morning. So maybe Chris can join us and hang out at Morning Brew. Oh, poor Jethro. I feel bad. We're saying
he just got here.
And Jethro just pops in.
Well, you didn't ask him to come late. To be fair, If you guys don't know, I have a really cool co-host too. That's like.
And then maybe someday I'll be invited on Chris's show. Who knows?
We want you on there. What do you want to do? Do you want to do Cryptid Deceit or you want to do Fake Spill or Real Deal?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to discuss it.
All right. Maybe I'll be introducing a new game by then. Who knows?
So, but thank you everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate your support. I love all of you guys. And I'm sorry, Jethro. I'm sorry. Pop in for Morning Brew, Jethro. You'll find us all there on Friday.
Good to see you, Jethro.
Guys, everybody have a great evening. And I'll see you soon.